Okay, let's see how this works first. Dummy. All right. We'll try to get this set up. I have I have rigged my telephone to my tripod. Yeah. It's too much fun. Okay, Bill, if you're there, call in. Hello.
Hi, D.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Tim, how are you? Okay.
Hi, Tim.
Say hello, Bill, so I can see if they can hear you.
Hello. How are you?
Can you hear
Hi,
him, Tim? Hello, hello, hello. Waiting for someone to answer here.
Right.
Good. Yep, he said good. Hey, sis.
Cool.
Yep,
I
she
love
hears
that.
you too. All right. Barely hear Bill. All right, let me try to get you closer, guys. Like I said, I had to rig this stupid phone because it broke last time. All right, so that's down lower. Okay, try it again,
How's
Bill.
that? Is that any better?
Can you guys hear any better? Yay! Okay, so yeah, at least it's working, somewhat working. So,
Okay, good.
hi, Bill. How are ya?
Good. How are you, D?
I'm good. It's still crazy hot out here. Good grief.
Yes, here too. I'm showing about 88 degrees.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how hot it is here because I can't look on my phone or on Denny's actually. But I do know that it was 104 today.
Ooh, I don't know how hot it got here, but I don't think it was that hot.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. But anyways, we just stayed inside and stayed nice and cool. Came out and did a few things and then ran back inside real quick because, yeah, it's too hot. They've got warnings everywhere out.
Yeah.
So how the heck are ya?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't get out until it cooled off a little bit. Got out on the bike and went and saw some friends down on Route 66.
That's always
I'm
fun.
home now, so.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Tim said it's 73 there. Yeah, nah. You're such a brat, Tim. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of places north of us that are getting storms, north and east of us that are getting storms. And last night, hey, Brandon, last night I took a really good video. I caught the tail end of heat lightning, but it was gorgeous. The clouds were all around. It looked like we were going to get a thunder boomer, but it just disappeared.
Yeah, we had a lot of cloud to cloud last night, actually, too, here, but it was north of us.
Yeah, but it was, I mean,
lightning, but
it was
nothing here.
It was beautiful, but nothing. What's your good news, Brandon? Such a delay on this stupid phone. All right, I'm waiting. Dun 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 dun. Brandon's got good news. All right, while I'm waiting for Brandon's good news, I have the oils up. I want to tell you guys right now, I'm going to send you a little vial of this oil. And what you do is you put 4 drops in your favorite or any kind of lotion that you have. Mix it in your hand or in a little cup or something and put 4 drops in it, mix it up together and then rub it all over. And no bug bites.
Cool.
It's easier to send the drops because I don't know what kind of lotions everybody uses. And some people are allergic to glycerin and some people can't use certain lotions. So just mix it with your favorite lotion, 4 drops, and you got it made. Use about 2 tablespoons of your lotion. That should cover your body. Hey, Typical. Would it be good in lard? No. Well, you can, Tim, if you want to get eaten. Silly egg. All right, come on, Brandon. What's your good news? No. Beetroot capsules taken at 6 days, 8,000 milligrams a day. I've stopped burning. Yay! Praise God, Brandon. I'm thankful. Congratulations.
Oh, good.
Yeah, beet juice is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's had cancer, anybody is lethargic, anybody who's got some energy issues, you know, it's a good thing. It's a really good antioxidant. It's good for your joints. I mean, it's good for all kinds of stuff. You're welcome, hon. Sometimes when you take cranberry alone, you don't, you know, it doesn't necessarily work. So it depends on what's going on, but you just kind of practice, figure out which one works for you. But I've got a whole list of things. Hey, see, Bill, you're able to do it. Yay! I'm so proud of you. Okay, so we have 13 people in here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you'll be able to, if you watch the chat, Bill, once in a while, you'll be able to answer them. Just say hello. That way you won't have to even write it.
Okay, yeah.
Because they can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I see Typical and Brandon and Tim and, of course, Can Squatch and Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
See him.
Yeah, answering your question, Brandon, a lot of people, mainly females, hi Pam, mainly females, you can use cranberry and D-mannose. D-mannose is a sugar. But for some reason, the combination of cranberry and D-mannose in drinking water helps with female UTIs and other issues. Men, on the other hand, have other issues, so you have to try other things. But I'm glad that it's working out for you. I'm very, very happy. I'm praising God.
Hi, Pam.
All right, so where do we want to start? We want to start with your motorcycle and your car stuff, or do we want to start with your experiences out there in the woods?
Oh, gosh. Let's just do woods experiences first, because my car and motorcycle stuff has, well, that's been all my life. That's my hobby and one of my passions.
Yeah, well, people like to hear that.
Yeah, I've played with everything from air-cooled Volkswagens to big block stuff in Mopars and Chevrolets and you name it. I'm 62 years old, so considering I've been handing wrenches to somebody since I was about 2 years old, I've had a couple years at it. It's just my hobby. As far as the woods experiences go, I grew up in southeast Missouri, and I did live in a town, but we were right on the, so to speak, on the edge of town, right next to what is now a state park in Missouri, and I could actually get there on a dirt bike or dune buggy, Baja bug, whatever, from my backyard into that area. At that time, it was all mining territory.
Yeah.
But I could go in there legally, and that was like my backyard. And I know that I could ride about 20 miles south. I would have to cross one public road in 20 miles. And so that was just my playground. Used to ride motorcycles up there, a lot of dirt bikes, of course. And one time a friend of mine and I were up there, and we stopped to take a break to smoke, and we're sitting there talking to each other, and we were in this area of, okay, this was all mining territory, and there were sand tailings on what was actually a dry lake bed of the sand tailings, you know, from being, they would use water in a centrifuge with crushed ore into sand.
Right.
And then it would just drain down. And
right.
Anyway, we were on a dry lake bed, but it had been there for years, and the woods had started to creep in, and we were actually on sand, but between two pretty big patches of woods, I'd say at least 5 acres apiece. And we're sitting there, and we're smoking our smoke and talking, and I heard a twig snap behind me and didn't really think anything about it. And Steve, my friend, just kind of looked up at me, and you know, he was making sure that I was aware that there was something behind me.
How old were you?
And we would, how old was I?
Yeah.
This happened somewhere, probably, I'm going to say 18 or 19 years old.
Okay.
because I know I had graduated high school. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
So that would have put it sometime between 1978 and 1980.
Okay.
That much I know for a fact. Anyway, we would hunt in these woods a lot too. This is on the edge of Mark Twain National Forest, so
Right.
go figure. I mean, it's Ozarks. Anyway, we're sitting there, and there was this, I don't even really know how to describe it, but it was just a very loud "Rah!" right behind me. And Steve jumped a little, like was startled, you could tell. And of course, I was stiff as a board for a second or two there, and he looked at me and he said, "Did you just fart?" That's way louder than that. And we were out of there. I mean, we were like started and gone.
Okay, repeat that noise again.
Something very large went crashing through the woods.
Repeat that noise again.
What's that?
Repeat that noise again.
It was a raw. It was just a raw. And it was so loud it actually, it physically shook me.
Oh my gosh.
Physically.
Oh my gosh.
I can't, there are no words for it. Just absolutely no words. It scared the absolute crap out of me.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it took years for me to, I don't know, I guess get past it. I still occasionally, if I get startled, I actually get the same kind of, it's almost like an electrical shock up my back. Yeah, that's how hard it rattled me.
Wow.
Anyway, that went on, and neither one of us said a thing about that. It was just one of those things that, of course, I was very disturbed by it, but I didn't want to say anything about it in fear. You know how that is.
Yeah.
And it was within a year I was up, and probably within 1 to 2 miles of that location. It was actually right next to one of the hayfields that my dad and my grandfather used to grow alfalfa on up in that area that they had leased at the time when I was younger than that. Anyway, I was riding along a road right beside one of those hayfields that they used, and I saw a Sasquatch. It was off right along the wood line on the opposite side of the field where I was, and I caught a glimpse of it, and I slowed down to look, and I stopped, and it turned, and it just walked off into the woods. And that confirmed to me what I heard before.
Right.
I often wondered up until that point if that's what it could have been. I know that there were sightings there. Like I say, that was lead mining territory, and my grandpa would always kid me when I was a little kid about, and I never put 2 and 2 together until within the last couple of years that I always thought he was saying the Catman, but I figured out, I really believe he was saying the Catamount.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I know that, he was about 74 when he passed away, and that would have been in 1968 when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
And he worked in the lead mines from the time that he was a young man until he retired. And he was retired at that time. He was in his 70s. So if you do the math on it, he was riding a mule cart, because that's how they got to the mine shafts.
Right.
It was by mule cart. And I remember him saying that they would hear the Catman scream. And now I believe he was actually saying a catamount.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because I've heard people in the South call catamounts the cougars.
Okay.
And so, but up north, especially Missouri, it's the Momo monster, but I've also heard people in the north call them catamounts. So that's where it's confusing.
Momo came about when I was in my teens.
Okay.
So, I remember all that about the Momo, the Missouri monster sightings and such, but of course, that was before any of this happened. And I took all that with kind of a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'm sure. Did you ever watch any movies or hear anything else besides your grandpa? Did you hear anything or see anything when you were growing up about the forest guys?
No, not really. And then, of course, the Boggy Creek movie.
Yeah. I didn't watch that movie until I was an adult. I never even heard it.
Yeah. but no, you just didn't hear much about it. It was just one of those things. It just, and then I took interest in it later.
I'm sure.
just because, you know, of good old internet and YouTube and that kind of thing. And I actually watched a lot of stuff for about a year before I ever got into a chat at all.
Yeah,
on
same.
YouTube.
Yeah, same here.
And of course, you know, as you all know, over the last couple of years, I've become pretty involved with it. Well, I would say actually 5 years, but, and then good old D here invited me to a camp out, and here I was asleep in a tent, and next morning, after seeing eye shine that night, y'all, by the way, we saw some really good eye shine, without question. That's what it was. Heard stuff walking through the woods, and then the next morning I found out that there was one standing right over my tent looking in at me.
Yeah.
And
do you remember the setup at the camp out where everybody was?
Yes, very, very well. I have a pretty good sized tent. In fact, I think it's actually like a 8 or 10 person tent. It's huge.
Right.
And Ramona and her husband were set up pretty close to where I was.
Right.
But they had forgotten their rain fly.
Right.
And so they put this tarp over the top of the tent to use as a rain fly. And it was windy that night, and that rain fly, or that tarp, just kept blowing up. Yeah. And it was during one of those times when it blew up that she looked out and saw something standing over the end of my tent.
Yeah, that kind of wigged her out pretty bad, but she was just sitting there reading. I think Richard was sleeping, actually.
Right.
And I know that Kat and Wayne that were behind you, actually closer to the wood line, they had been hearing walking around for quite a while, but they didn't say anything out loud. They just laid there and listened to it. And Kat, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that she said she actually saw it walk by the side of the tent. And
right. I remember her saying that.
yeah, and then it walked over to your tent and just leaned over and looked side. So how tall was your tent?
I can tell. Well, I'm 6'2", and I can look into what it was looking in at, but I'm looking at the bottom of the opening that it was looking into.
Yeah.
I mean, it's every bit of 5.5 feet at minimum.
Yeah.
To that point, and probably closer to 6 feet.
Yeah, so I would say that the big guy that was standing over you had to be at least then about 8 foot tall, because his head looked down into up on top. He was actually looking down, he was actually had his head above your tent. So, I mean, it just freaked Ramona out. I mean, she just got silent, and the next day it was a lot of fun listening to it, because I was sitting at the window, watching outside, and you could see Ramona when the flap went up. You could see Ramona staring off, and just, you could tell she was very uncomfortable. And then the next morning when we gathered together, that's when we heard from Kat and Wayne and Ramona, about everything that had happened. Now, I watched the trees moving around, and of course, we kept the dogs inside. But they were going crazy. They wanted out there. And you remember Tank was chasing back and forth on the tree line because he was playing with something on the other side, And there's nothing, I can't think of anything that would cause a dog Tank's size to run the fence line at least 100 yards both directions. I mean, a deer's not going to do that. It's going to run off. That's not a house cat or a raccoon. Nothing's going to cause that dog to run back and forth and play with its tail wagging. And then, of course, I didn't know anything about the video that Tex had taken.
Exactly.
And that just kind of freaked me out, because that exact area that I told you guys they were always at, that's where that video happened. But that's also where Sarah, my granddaughter, ended up in tears, and she stopped talking to me, and I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "There it is." And I looked just in time to see its back walk off through that area. But that one area was always where they stood, and it had to be, I'm just saying, it had to be about 8 foot tall according to the tree line.
Yeah. Well, I know that the eye shine we saw was, and I scoped it out real close the next day. And so we're about where I thought it was coming from. And whatever it was definitely tall,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah. But see, we didn't take a tape measure and go out, you know. I mean, like I said, I don't do the things normal people do, only because I just get caught up in the activity and I have fun with it and I don't pay attention to the rest of the stuff. If someone asks me, I can repeat. You know, if they ask me how tall, I'll say, approximately, but I didn't go out and measure it. But we should, I guess we should have at least measured to the bottom of that tree, you know, the branch where it just kept peeking in and out of. I think that would have given us a better idea how tall it was.
Right.
But if for it to stand over your tent and have that much room above your tent means it was probably about 8 foot.
Yeah, every bit of that.
Yeah, because it leaned over. Yeah, it leaned over and looked in your tent like it was actually looking, you know, in a car window or something. So,
Right.
yeah, it was weird. Anyways.
I guess I'm glad I didn't wake up.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, you were snoring, so I think that's what attracted them.
Probably. I had a hard time going to sleep that night too because it was pretty warm.
Yeah.
And it was humid.
Yeah.
And I was really tired because I'm trying to remember. It seems like I know I didn't get there until just almost dark.
Right.
On that Friday, wasn't it? Yes. It
Yeah.
was that Friday night.
Right.
I know it was just almost dark because I didn't get away until way later than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, we were texting back and forth because I knew I knew you were going to be late, I also knew you were going to be tired when you got there. So you were the first one to pass out.
But I was pretty wound up too.
Yeah.
You know, just from the drive and then meeting everybody.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it?
Time.
It was cool meeting everybody. I love our meet and greets like that. I love it when people get together. You know, we have a really good group of people, so you're going to meet some new people this year.
I know, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then my property here, well, no, it wasn't. I can't remember if it was you or if it was Tom. Who was it that had the walk-in behind the tent? Do you remember?
That was Tom.
Okay, yeah. And then...
Yeah, that was definitely Tom.
Yeah, and that was fun because I know that had to be Peanut because he said it wasn't very heavy, but it was definitely bipedal.
Right.
So that had to be Peanut.
Yeah, we didn't actually see anything that I remember.
Well, remember also he had a FLIR going.
A lot of people there too.
Yeah, and he had his FLIR going, and they're not gonna come out. Right. You know, they wait until everybody goes to bed. But then, you know, we also had the other couple that had the children, remember, and they came out all freaked out because.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny because you don't expect it, you know, and you don't hear anything, you don't see anything, and you're all keyed up and excited. And then I say, everybody go to bed. And you're like, no, I don't want to go to bed. I want to see what happens. But if you go to bed, at least don't go to sleep. But if you get in your tent, they'll definitely come out.
Yeah, I think what's her name and I were probably some of the first ones to go to bed that night.
Right. Right. So. But the rest, you know, everybody else kind of stayed up. And I said, seriously, if you go into your tent, they will come out. So we'll do the same thing, you know, this year when we have the camp out. You know, we'll wait till dark and then, you know, probably about 10 o'clock, somewhere around 10 and 11, then everybody go to their tent. And, you know, if you're awake enough, well, even if you're sleeping, you're going to get activity. More so likely if you're sleeping. If you're snoring, they're going to come up and go, hey, what is this? But they like it when Denny goes to sleep because he snores too. And I think that's, for some reason, that attracts them.
It's strange because I don't snore that often according to my wife.
No, but I
was really tired though, and
I don't think it was that. I think it was the humidity, to tell you the truth, Bill, because everybody that night, remember, was having issues.
Yeah.
So I don't think. And then that Tex got sick and actually left.
Right.
So I really believe that it was the high humidity that caused that to happen. Because when you were here, I didn't hear you resonating.
Really not used to that.
Yeah, I didn't hear you snoring when you were here.
Me neither.
Yeah. Okay, so what other, where else have you been? Or do you actually go investigating or do you go,
Well, it's not. I can't really say it's investigating. I have some friends that. Okay, I'm in Amarillo, Texas. Okay, which is, if you've ever driven across the Texas Panhandle, you would think that it was just flat as a pancake everywhere you could go. That couldn't be further than the truth.
yeah, I've been through Amarillo.
If you look at, like, even on Google Maps, which is the most accessible to anybody, if you go in and just do satellite view north of Amarillo, it's all canyons and break country.
Yeah.
And then off to our east a little bit and south a little bit is Paladero Canyon. There's actually a state park there. But the Paladero Canyon is actually the second largest canyon in the United States.
Wow.
It's absolutely beautiful. If you ever get the chance, please go to Paladero Canyon. Pay the $3 or $5, whatever it is, to go into the park, and it makes I think it's about a 5 or 6 mile paved loop through, and there are water crossings. I think they've built bridges over all but one of those now. But you used to have to drive across the river about 4 or 5 times to make that loop. But anyway, it's really pretty down there. But I have friends that have property further east that is actually part of Paladero Canyon, and I can go down there and ride. I ride up at the Canadian River off-road area quite a bit. And then I also have friends up by a little town called Sanford. It's up by Lake Meredith, and they live up in a canyon up in there, and I can ride up there. And I'll go and I'll ride, and I'll go for short hikes. I can't walk too terribly far because I don't have real good knees anymore, and I'm getting older and just can't walk that far. But I get out and walk around a little bit, and I've seen quite a bit of possible evidence that they come through here. I have found a few footprints that were somewhat questionable as far as size goes. They were not fresh, but I truly believe that at least twice they were definitely, in my opinion, more than likely Sasquatch tracks. And also, to the west, my wife's cousin has a ranch just this side of Tucumcari, New Mexico. And it's really pretty flat over there on their property. But it is rolling hills, and there's a lot of, there's huge irrigation ditches that the state, or maybe even it was the federal government, put in a long, long time ago. And there's a lot of wildlife movement through those irrigation ditches. I mean, these things are, at points, they're 50 feet wide. And, they're just like a dry creek bed, effectively, with a concrete bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was one place where I did find some prints one time crossing the sediment in the bottom. And there were only 2 footprints.
Wow.
Crossing it, which it wasn't any 50 feet wide at that point, but it was, way bigger stride than what a human would make, for sure.
Right. Is that canyon area that park, are you allowed to camp out there?
Oh yeah. They have a campground.
Oh, good. Let's set up a
camp, and they have RV hookups, but they're always really busy.
Oh, okay.
And there's really no privacy. They are real picky about quiet time at night.
Yeah.
But I don't know that in the canyon, if it's 80 degrees here in town, it's going to be 85 to 87 in the canyon. It's always warmer.
Okay.
And in the wintertime, it's always colder.
Yeah.
So that has just not been a place that I would pick to go camp. Now, I've camped up by Sanford a couple of times on our friend's property and got crap scared out of me by pigs, but that's another story. Wild hogs.
Yeah, I think those things are everywhere.
Yeah, that's scary stuff there.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, that's the only, honestly, that's the main reason that I carry when I go even to my back, because I know that the bear around here is just kind of lumbering around all over the place. I mean, I got probably about a 30-mile radius where people have seen this bear. And then as far as the cougar's concerned, I've only seen it once. I've seen prints a few times, but my biggest concern is the hog. You know, I'm always looking for a tree to climb when I go out there, and I'm always carrying because they just come out of nowhere. And I'm not one of those people that are gonna go out in my woods and then cut all the trees down from 5 foot down. I like it the way it is. But in the same breath, that's really dangerous because I can walk around a corner and see a whole nest of them and, just kind of freeze, but climb a tree until they take off. But
well, here the majority of the farmland is very flat, and that's what most of the area is too. Well, here in South.
Yeah.
And due west, due east. And it amazes me the wild hog population. And it's really flat, but they'll go out in like sorghum fields and cornfields. Of course, it's good eating for them.
Yeah, you need to follow the hogs around and find out where the truffles are so you guys can make some thousands of dollars. I think right now it's $2,500 a pound for the truffles. And that's one of their favorite foods, so they go down there and they start digging up. If I see a tree and the bottom half is black and it's all dug up, I'm like, dang, they got to it before me. But I actually went out looking. I went out looking for the morels this year, and I found 2 trees in the back, and it's almost at the end of my property where the whole bottom of the tree was solid black mold, and I knew there was truffles under there, but it was so destroyed. I mean, so I know that they had gotten them. I probably could have dug up some, but I doubt I would have gotten a pound. But anyways, they're expensive right now. And if anybody knows anything about truffles, you ought to go out because the price it's astronomical how much they pay for truffles now. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, can you imagine getting $2,500 a pound for truffles?
That would be good.
Well, yeah, but you have to know what you're looking for. That's a good way to make money.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah, we're looking at possibly, we have access to property there in Missouri. We're wanting to move. I don't know, there's a lot of politics involved family-wise. Not really a bad thing. It's just, I don't know where we really stand. A lot of it's not me. I know what I want to do, but Carol has a little bit of different opinions about a few things. But we know what areas we want to definitely look for different property. And with it, I'm close enough to retirement age that we need to find something and make our minds up and get it done. But
yeah,
speak of the devil, there's Ramona.
Yeah. Well, she's not a devil, by the way.
Okay, I know. You know what I mean.
I know. I'm just joking. Ramona, we were talking about you and our property and the night that you saw the big guy over Bill's tent. So every single time that we tell this story, every single time that someone else in the group tells the story, the biggest thing was the shock of, that it was hot outside, there was a wind blowing, because we really thought we were going to get dumped on, as far as rain. And so we threw that. I think that thing was probably about 100 feet long that we threw over there because I couldn't find the tarp, remember? I couldn't find the rain guard.
Yeah.
So I think it was really long, by the way, and it just kept flapping all over the place, and I could hear that sitting in the window. I was giggling because I thought that thing was going to blow away.
It was really noisy.
It was.
It was really kind of hard. It's kind of hard to describe it. Just imagine a plastic tarp hanging out in the wind and blowing.
Yep. And it wasn't one of those. It wasn't one of those thin ones. It was a real thick plastic tarp, and I think it was just blowing like crazy. But then to see it go up and see Ramona, because I could see her from my window, just to see her in basically kind of like shock, just staring, there was just, it was amazing. It was just amazed me. She and Richard seemed to get it no matter where they go. Whether it was Fouke or my place or any place else, she just seemed, I think they like her trailer, to tell you the truth, but this time she was in a tent. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, Ramona. I think it saw you looking at it, so I think that's why it took off. I didn't even name that one. Or did I? No, I don't think I named that one, did I?
I don't remember you having a name.
No, because, and I know that we had Mark, from here in Antlers, or well, actually Atoka, when Mark came out to visit, he came out, he wasn't sitting down 5 minutes because we were, introducing ourselves to each other. And he got whistled from the woods and he spun around. He goes, "You hear that?" And I said, "Yeah, they like you." And he's like, "Oh my gosh." He didn't want them to like him, Oh, that's
Ramona, you
great.
should try to draw that.
Do what?
Ramona just commented that she's thought about trying to draw him.
Well, Ramona, you're really good at drawing. Maybe you should. I think that'd be kind of awesome. Anyways, so
Anyway, that's about all I really have at this point.
well, that's enough because, everybody's stories, like I said, they don't have to be major on any direction. The point is, once you see them, you can't unsee them. So
Exactly.
any experience that you have is an experience that you'll never forget. So you start joining these clubs, or you start hanging out with people that have had like experiences, and you're able to share. And it does make it easier for the people that have had experience that don't know how to verbalize it. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid of being laughed at or called a liar or whatever the case may be. Or maybe it's just something they don't want to face, that they actually saw something that shouldn't exist.
Right.
So talking about it.
One thing that I find real interesting is the guy that I was with when I heard the really loud grunt. I don't know if you call I don't even really know what you call it, but the noise. He has never had any bad effects from it. And I don't know if it has to do with the way sound travels or what, but I mean, it affected me.
Yeah.
It affected me badly.
Yeah.
And he's never had any ill effects, and to this day, he thinks that it was just a hog. And I keep saying, we didn't have hogs in the woods at that time.
Yeah.
To my knowledge.
Yeah. I call that.
Yes, we had wild dogs, we had coyotes, there were a few bear, but not very many.
Yeah. I call that noise a gruff because it sounds like, yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. And they do that here. The male will do that here. It's just like a, it's just,
exactly.
it's not really it's not a grunt. It's not a roar. It's not a howl. It's just, I call it a gruff because, and this one here does that. And he only does that when I get too close. He'll give me that noise, and I'll say, all right, I'm leaving, and I'll just go the other direction. But he doesn't do that very often. Like I said, I think he doesn't want me out there, but he allows Peanut to get a little bit on the closer side. But if I get too close to wherever they don't want me, that's the noise he'll make. So if you hear that out there, you're just too close. And remember, we went walking that day.
Yes.
And
yes, we did.
Yeah, and nobody heard anything. We saw all the good, tree structures and footprints and all that kind of stuff, but
right.
We didn't hear anything because they didn't bother. They just were quiet. And that's what I like about the guys here, even the ones in Findlay or the property down there in Tallahena. They just seem to be fairly quiet. They're not aggressive. But they enjoy people coming around because they spend a lot of time. They're so curious. They just spend a lot of time watching and listening. So this camp out that we're gonna have, we'll have less people. So I'm hoping that they get a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
And I'm gonna put you right in the tree line.
I'm sure looking forward to it.
I'm putting you in the tree line.
Thanks.
Well, we were.
I never forgive you, but...
Well, I figured, like I said, we're gonna get that porta potty. I figured you guys could be close enough to the porta potty where Carol will have no problem, or the females will have no problem, and it's just gonna be a lineup on that far, left side, and that's always where they like to come in. When Barb and Debbie were here, something was stepping back there by the back of their tent also. That's where they come in at, so, and last video we did, oh my gosh, that was awesome how they did that. But you see how either the big one, Shembert, or Peanut, one of the two, had walked on the cardboard to get my attention to come over there where the snakes were. You know, see, that's
Yeah.
what they do.
Right.
You know, they don't howl, they don't growl, they don't throw things at me, but they definitely let you know when they're around.
Well, I do know that the time when we were there at the place you're at now, Wayne and I had heard something, and we went out to walked down to the main road anyway.
Yeah.
And we stood there for a good 10 minutes anyway, just not saying a word. And he was pointing as to where it was, because he was hearing it. He was hearing more than I was.
Yeah.
But it was definitely moving from right to left as you're facing the main road.
Yeah. Well, this time you'll have the parabolic mic, and you can just put the headphones on and point it, and you'll be able to hear what you need to hear. So I got that I got that cleaned up and put aside just for you.
Cool.
So Carol might not want them, but I know you will.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
And you can record it too. It has a recording on it, so you can push record.
Oh, cool. Neat.
Yeah, that's what I said. All right, so tell me about your motorcycle.
My motorcycle is it's a 2020 model. It's a TW200 Yamaha. These little bikes have been built since 1987. You can even go order a brand new 2023 right now. And since 1987, they've made 2 changes other than color. They put a disc brake on them, and they took the Kickstarter away, but they always have been electric start.
Yeah.
They have a almost 7-inch wide rear tire, and the front tire is 5 inches wide.
Wow.
These things are just like little tractors in the woods, and top speed of about 60 miles per hour, wound out just as fast as it'll go. They are street legal, but to ride in the woods and off-road in general, they're fantastic.
I was just gonna say that.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. That must be nice to go some trailheads with that if you're allowed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, we carried the bike with us to Missouri when we went in late April or late May and early June this year. I went all over the place. I think I put about 65 or 70 miles on it in the woods, just checking stuff out at up by the lake. Anyway.
I'd like to. That's one of the places that I want to go is, you know, up there by the 400, you know, is where I wanted to go. I mean, I've been up there with Kevin before. You know, him and I had gone up there, and then I'd gone to his property, you know, when he moved to Arkansas. Yeah. And then, how you doing, Jared? And then we had planned on going to Devil's Den. There was a section of Devil's Den that were having a lot of activity, and we had planned, it was Kevin, myself, and one of Kevin's friends, and we had planned on going there because we had heard a lot of people having activity there. But then when I think it was the weekend that we had planned on going, we saw a YouTube video where the guy had gotten a screenshot of something that had ran in front of his camera. You guys have probably all seen it, but it looked more like a wolf head than a Sasquatch, so we nixed that. Kevin wanted to go, but I was like, nope, I ain't going. Nope.
Yeah.
Not happening. I'll stay home.
All that stuff is a little out there for me. I don't want anything to do with it.
Me either. I'm the same way.
So,
well, anybody have any questions? Huh?
Anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, does anybody in the chat have any questions for Bill? It's always delayed, so you have to wait a bit. Hey, Duke, how are you?
Hi, Duke.
Do you remember by chance what color the one was you saw by the side of the road?
Reddish.
Reddish?
Yeah, it had a reddish brown.
Wow. You know, I think that's just kind of strange. You know, the color difference is just right here, just in between these three states. I mean, it's amazing. You got white, you got gray, you got solid black, you got brown, you got red. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
there's just so many different colors. I mean, what people are seeing, I think that we need to take into consideration what they're talking about, their hair, you know, kind of adapting. If they're looking straight at Brindle.
Well,
Yeah,
and this was in the fall.
yeah,
Fall, early winter.
yeah. I w-
Um, so leaf colors.
yeah, I was just kind of wondering. I don't know if anybody knows this answer or not, but do you think they kind of change colors throughout the year? I'm
I
not
don't
talking
know.
about just age. I mean, I look at it age sometimes. You know, the little ones that were on the property in Finley were black, you know, but some of them are, you know, I mean, like grandma there in Arkansas, she was pure gray.
Right.
Right.
To answer Shane's question, as best as I could tell, and of course I didn't go back and measure anything, but my guesstimation was probably 7 to 8 feet, um, right in that area. It was very big.
And then the one at my property, we can tell you, you know, that one was at least 8 foot tall
Right.
because the way it stood over your tent.
Yeah, but I didn't see that.
No, you didn't see it, but you know, Ramona can tell you. Oh, the ducks
Yeah,
are.
that was something for me to get up the next morning and being told about that.
Yeah, I can't imagine, you know, getting up the next morning and stretching and feeling good and got a good night's sleep and then having everybody surround you and go, do you know what happened to you last night?
Yeah, no kidding. And it took a little time for me to process that. It really did.
That's a good idea, Texas. I mean, we don't have any idea, actually. You know, I mean, there's a lot of us that just don't know, but I don't know. It's just, I guess that's something to think about. It depends on, you could say it depends on location, it depends on age. There could be a lot of different theories about why or how they are the color they are. But I think most of all, from my experience, I think they change colors with the, yeah, that's what we were talking about, Ramona. I think they kind of change colors with their age. What do you think, Duke? He said nay first. I hate the delay in my phone. Makes me crazy. Sometimes the chat
Yeah,
goes.
it takes a couple. I don't know exactly how long, but like you'll say hi to somebody, and I don't see them for just a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
on my desktop. So
the last time I counted in my head, it was 45 seconds before they answered.
wow.
Fancy pants, Martha. Oh, Martha Stewart. Yep.
Well, I'll be happy as long as I don't turn blue.
Oh, you won't turn blue. They turn gray and white just like we do with age. Grandma, good example. She was very old. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And when I first started seeing Boo, Boo was just jet black. But before we left, Boo had a little bit more of a brownish color to him. I don't know if they change with seasons. I was just kind of wondering about that, you know. If they do actually kind of blend in with their environment, what would inhibit them from actually changing color? Or here, there you go, Ramona. Does their hair bleach with the sun? You know, mine does.
Yeah.
Although you guys are going to be totally shocked, I dyed my hair dark brown.
Really?
I mean, dark brown. I couldn't help myself. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna step out of the room here for just a minute, so I won't be in front of the screen, but I'm on the phone. So.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I did. I did, Ramona. I cut my hair off and I dyed it dark brown. Oh, I think Dusty's coming home from work. Yep. Here she comes. I hit the flute a couple of times before I went live.
Did you?
Yep. All the way up. All the way up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All the way up. Okay. There you go. It's good.
So anyway, about my motorcycle, you were asking about it.
Yep.
There are over 45 Sasquatches on my motorcycle.
Oh yeah, you sent me pictures. Those are pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I've sent you pictures, but I've got them all over the place. I have a vinyl cutter, so I'm kind of dangerous for that kind of thing.
Oh, I love
I
it.
actually have metal cutouts in there, etchings. It's pretty.
I got a metal
crazy
cutout.
to try to find all of them.
I
They're
got.
hiding all over the place.
Yep, I got a metal cutout.
What's that?
I said I have a metal cutout.
Yeah, well, this is opposite. This is like, there will be like a hole in the shape of the Sasquatch. In fact, one of them's backed up by cowhide. So it's hairy.
Oh my goodness. Well, I remember the pictures that she sent to me. Those are pretty cool because some of them you can't see. I'm gonna have to get a telephone number or an email address and put it on my. I have a sticker on my truck that says Bigfoot Response Team, and people have come up and asked me, how could they get in touch with me, and I didn't put a phone number on it because I don't want my phone blowing up with people.
I'll
But
do that for you.
yeah, but I need to put an email address on it so they can email me that way. I think that'd be smarter.
Yeah, just text me what you want and how big and what color.
Yeah.
We'll fix you up.
All the time people come up to me everywhere, like, start talking about Bigfoot.
Really?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, she works at the store down the street, and that's Dusty, and she said she's got people asking her all the time. There's a lot of activity around here. This place is just
Any
loaded.
store we go to, in Antlers and McAllister, anywhere, like at least 50% of the time we stop anywhere, somebody's saying something about it.
Because of the sticker on the truck?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I had an
I've
email,
told you forever, I want a card of yours to hand out because people
I'll get it. My No Bro, I'm part of No Bro, and I told them they just now started coming out with the business cards, and I'm a field investigator. I'm a lead field investigator, so I'm gonna get my cards here pretty soon.
My wife's family has a family reunion every year at Roberts Cave State Park.
Ooh.
At about the 1st of October.
Ooh.
In fact, we're foregoing the family reunion this year to go to your place.
Aww.
Well, that's just what we decided to do. We wanted to do something different because we've been every year for the last 12 years. So
Wow. Well,
we're going to do something different this year.
Well, I'm honored that you're coming to my place.
Anyway, they have one of the big metal cutouts there in the park. We're at they have the family reunion at the very back. They call it a campground, but I guess it used to be a Boy Scout camp. So they have all these bunkhouses, and I'm trying to remember, I think it's like 8 sets of bunk beds in each half of some of the cabins, and then there's at least two sets of bunk beds and a bedroom in the other cabins in that camp area.
Wow.
And they have several of those houses, but anyway, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, there's usually 150 people there as a rule.
Wow.
But I did actually talk to a park ranger one time about what's all the deal with Bigfoot in this part of the world, and I knew about what was going on, and they said, well, we don't have any rock solid evidence, but we get a lot of reports, and that's all they would really say.
Yeah, same here.
They get a lot of reports, but they said, officially, we don't really know anything.
Well,
I got an answer, but I didn't get an answer.
The guy here, there's two wildlife management guys that They drive around a lot, you know, you'd see their trucks, and we had called them out once because we heard someone screaming like crazy, and I didn't know if it was a big cat or whatever or whatever it was, but we had called him out to check it out, and I had asked him before about, you know, any Sasquatch activity, and he literally pursed his lips and looked at me and shook his head, and I was like, okay. And then he smiled and walked off. I mean, in other words, he was told to be tight-lipped.
Yeah.
You know, in other words, he's not allowed to talk about it. So,
Sure.
but then, you know, with Mark had talked to an officer, and that officer got him in touch with Troy, who's the head of the NOBRO that I'm involved with. And he's the one who went out there and talked to him and told him what to do, you know, the best thing to do to try to keep them away from the kids and that kind of stuff. So, you know, everybody in this area, I mean, I don't care who it is, everybody in this area knows about them. There's just a lot of them are tight-lipped. They just don't want to say anything. They don't want to talk about it. It's like an absolute no-no. And I told you guys before that I have talked to a few of the Indians around here, and they tell me, you know, they've known about this for years. They've known about them, and they just said they leave them alone, and they're left alone.
Well, hi, Sharon.
Hi, Miss Sharon. How are you guys? Well, I thank you very much, Bill.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I'm glad that you called in. It's nice to hear from you. I always appreciate when people call in. And, you know, I've been wanting to get you on here for a while. And I think what we'll do is, like I did last time, I'll try to go live when we have our camp out for a while, so people can see who's here and what's going on. And I can't wait. I'm honored again, like I said, that you're going to come here instead of going to your family reunion.
Well,
You know, I can't wait. And this time Carol's coming, so I'm excited about that too. And I'll make sure you guys are taken care of, I promise.
Well, I know we'll be taking care. There's no question about that.
Right. Well, does anybody have any last questions for Bill? And you can just jump on the chat, Bill, and we'll just continue. You know, I don't know if we'll have any activity, but tonight's my night. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm going to be up for a while.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, it's been fun, Dave. Thank you.
Well,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
inviting me.
Thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it. And
Okay.
hugs to you. I will see you soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Bye. Well, there you go. Okay, so that was Bill King. And thank you very much again, Bill, for coming on. I appreciate it. You should see my rig on my phone. It's just so cheesy. It's crazy. I've got duct tape around my phone, hanging it up here. Because that last night that I pulled the phone off to go look at the snakes, I dropped the screw in the back of it, and now it's broken. Oh, don't ask me. It's too funny. Ow, I gotta move my chair. Oh. It's okay. You can always go back and listen to it. He's got some, I'm telling you, you just turned the sound on? Yeah, that's cool. I love it when you guys call in. You know, like I said, don't ever think that your conversation with me has to be, oh my gosh, that was super, you know, scary, or it doesn't have to be that. Just have a conversation. So if anybody wants to call in at any time, just shoot me an email and I'll get you on there, and you can just, I don't care if you just talk about the weather. Don't bother me at all. But people love to hear your voice, and you know, this is a good way for people to get to know each other a little bit better. And when you hear them, it's different than typing it there in the chat. So anyways, thank you again, Bill. I appreciate it. But I'm so excited. I can't wait till October, especially since the weather is going to break. Da-da-da-da. Well, no, that's not true, Tim, unless the stories are all about your heads. Or your fish stories. Ha! It's too funny. Yeah, that was like almost a minute delay. Isn't that funny? Yeah, it does. Well, I don't know about you, Ramona, but it wasn't any cooler here. It was 104. It was hot. Yeah, well, if you have your own encounter stories or whatever, you're welcome to call in, Tim. Like I said, there's a lot of people that have had what they think is possibly encounters, but that counts. If it's something that sticks in your head, you're more than welcome to call and talk about it. Yeah, well, mine was just way too hot. I couldn't spend hardly any time outside today. It was nasty. Mopar. Well, even possibilities. Like I said, people like to hear them because they can relate. Believe it or not, there are some people out there that might have heard noises but don't even associate it. Like when Bill and I were talking about that, that sound, the gruff noise, he said, yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. So, you know, what happens is if you think you heard something or you think you saw something, you get somebody else that has heard or saw the same thing. It just makes you feel better that you don't think you're crazy. I mean, sometimes I still think I'm crazy with some of the stuff I saw, but I just can't unsee what I saw. You're funny, Tim. You're absolutely funny. Hey, baby. How are you? Give me your hand. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, give me your hand. Hold on a second, guys. One more step. There you go. There you go. It's pretty bright out here, so let your eyes adjust.
Yeah, once your eyes adjust.
Yeah. Sharon says, hello, Denny.
Hi. I listened to Bill. That was a pretty good story.
Yep.
Especially the bike. That's the way I would want to travel
Yep.
if I was 60.
Oh, 78 would be really nice. 100 and something's not. Ramona said hi, Denny.
Hi. I was 78. It wasn't much to it.
Yeah. I mean, you can sit out here and just pour sweat and not even move.
Yeah, what was it?
Sis
105?
says hi, Denny.
Hi. Who is?
Sis, Martha.
Oh. Tell Martha hi.
Bill says hi, Denny.
Hi, Bill. Good story, Bill. Good job.
Yep, you did really well. Proud of you. Yeah, the dogs are quiet. You notice that even Leo's not barking.
Yeah, Hank's wanting outside. But I'm not going to let him out.
No, don't let him out right now. All right, I hope none of you guys have headphones on because I'm going to go ahead and do this whistle, or this flute. Are you ready? I'm going to do the flute. Same here, Bill. That's what I said. I'm just me. Everybody give me a thumbs up so I don't freak out anybody's eardrums. Texas. And Mike's not on, so. Hey, Rich. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we get a response. It is, fairly early.
Here's your repeat.
What? Yeah. What does that mean, Texas? Is that some kind of song or something? Na, 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 na. I'm gonna throw water on Tim's head.
Hmm?
Tim,
Was when you do.
because he's a brat.
He's
Shane
back.
said hi. Yeah, Shane said hi, Denny.
Hi, Cap.
Shane.
Who?
Shane.
Oh, hi, Shane.
Oh, it's a song they teach kids on the flute. Three blind mice. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Well, you got it close. Got to go down low. One.
That's the lowest it goes.
Well, then you have to go up one.
Really, Brian? Well, maybe next time you can call in and tell us your stories. Anybody's welcome to call in. All you gotta do, work your way up to Freebird. Now that one I know.
Do what?
Freebird. Never mind. Ah, that tells you my age, right? Sorry, I'm looking out here. Boy, is it beautiful. Look at all them stars, baby.
My eyes haven't adjusted.
Here we go up a road to a birthday party. I don't know what that means. Well, yeah, a lot of people are because they think somebody thinks they're nuts. But like I said, once you see, you can't unsee. I don't have a trombone. One thing I wish I would have learned how to play was a cello. Hey, Sandy, how are you?
Yeah, I can see that in this house.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea, Ramona. But I can't go live and do it. You know, we'll have to do it because I'll get tagged or flagged or whatever you call it. Unless I go find the song and then ask for permission to post it. I'm glad to hear that, Sandy. Nice to see you. It's been a good and a bad day. I mean, started off rough this morning, then ended up pretty decent day, but geez. Well, I do, Ramona, but I have, like I said, you have to get permission. Otherwise, I can't go live with it. Can't play it on my video. Boo! You hear that dog? Boo! Yeah, that owl was here in this tree earlier before I went live.
Did he?
Right here in this tree.
Yeah, I told you.
Big old owl.
You see him fly off?
Nope. Heard him. I have never seen them. Not here. I hear them, but I never see them. Hear that hound dog? Crazy dog. Yeah, that dog was in my backyard too today. It irritates me. Well, I wouldn't know how to play harmonica either. And the ones I left them in Findlay, I had a harmonica and the two flutes, they were plastic. They just bit it, you know, they just broke it. So I won't do the plastic ones anymore. But I think it's fun just with the flute so far. Listen to that. Leo's just quiet. All right, so who's calling in next? Woohoo! I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm going to call him and ask Or my wife is the blonde.
Yeah, whatever.
Strangest woman living in my house here.
Whatever. Thought you said you liked it.
I do.
Okay. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look too bad as a brunette.
Nope. Kind of like that picture I got.
Whoop, oh yeah. When I was in nursing school. Yeah. No, in fact, I think I had already graduated. I think I was working when I dyed my hair. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, what are y'all doing tonight? Absolutely nothing. Sitting around listening. Denny said he said yes. Ramona says, Denny, do you like her as a brunette?
Yes.
See?
I got a picture of her like that before. She had to post it. It's a good picture.
I think the big guys do use infrasound. I've never heard of the DM. You know, I didn't know that they did, but no, I'm not showing you nothing. Nah, 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 nah,
Maybe
nah,
that
nah.
was a DM up on Finley.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know anything about infrasound with DM. I didn't know they did that. Yeah, you're funny, Rich. I'm not doing it. You know I don't show my face very often anyway. Ha, 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 ha. See, you guys didn't get on here to see my mug. You get on here to see what's happening in the woods.
Well, that tree's still there.
Yep, it is. It looks like it's got one foot hanging out like it's dancing. Hey, Martha, you're inverted, correct?
Inverted. She's sitting upside down.
No. Color inversion.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. All right, you know, you took a picture of that tree that I'm looking at. Does it still have the black behind it? Last time, it was a couple times ago when we went live, when I went live, Martha sent me a picture of the tree that you're looking at right now, that it was black. And I just wanted to know if it was still black. It's got to be the type of tree if it is. Yeah, I believe that they use infrasound. Only on certain people, though. I don't think they use it all the time. Because I don't honestly believe that I've ever been hit by it.
What time is it anyway?
I'll tell you here in a minute. It's 10:58.
Stayed up too late.
Why? You gonna go to bed?
I was going to go to bed. I just took my medicine.
Well, here's your phone. That way you can set your alarm. You better look at the temperature before you do that. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, I tried it too, Bill. I've got several options. I don't know how to use it, but I've already tried to invert my phone before I went live, and it won't let me. I thought that'd be pretty cool if we were inverted while we went live, but it won't. I don't know if we're capable of infrasound.
See where it's 80 degrees.
It's 80?
No, it's going to be 80 degrees at
What is it right now?
4 a.m.
What's it right now? It says, Denny says it's 86 degrees right now. Do you really think that we are capable of infrasound? Yeah, well,
Says it feels like 90.
yeah. I think we lost a lot of stuff in over the years because, you know, back in the day, most people were out in the woods, you know, out without all this other stuff, and our minds have gone haywire. You know, we're paying attention to too many other things and not paying attention to what we're capable of doing.
Well, tomorrow it's going to be 97 for a high. Monday 103, Tuesday 105.
Tomorrow's only going to be 97.
Yeah,
Well, that would be nice.
cooling wave.
Yeah.
But all next week, all in the hundreds.
Oh, you're funny, Tim. Not going to happen.
Third through 15th, 23rd, all of those hundreds.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to hear about the hundreds. We got things to do out here we can't get done because of this stupid weather. How'd you find out that you were right-brained? Or... Oh, no, Denny.
No, that much slower.
Yeah. You don't want to do that. We'll get in trouble. I would love to play that music again. Like I said, I cannot get... Yeah, Rich, I don't know what Denny's got the temperature on the inside, but in the bedroom we keep it at 61 degrees because even at that, it doesn't feel like 61 degrees in there. I mean, I still can wake up sweating at 61 degrees because of how much moisture is. Nickname? What do you mean? Oh, I got tested, Bill. Well, before you enter college, sometimes they give you all these stupid tests that you got to take. And I tested equal right brain, left brain. Probably not now anymore. I'd say, you know, quarter right brain, quarter left brain. And the other one's out in left field.
They found out I didn't have a brain.
Yeah, mine can't either, Ramona. What?
I'm looking at the stars in China.
What? Did you get that app going?
I don't know where it's...
Oh my goodness, Tony. Where have you been? You are just rotten to the core. Haven't heard from you in so long. Hope you guys are all doing okay. Family all good, Tony? Hello, all my lurkers. How are you?
Going back in.
You be careful. Give me your hand.
I can see it.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that, Tony. I like to hear from you once in a while. Stop being such a stranger. Oh, we're kind of still in the same position we were before. Hi, Long Island. How are you? Okay, I didn't say hello. No, I did. I take that back. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Oh, all is well. Everything could be worse, and I'm not hanging on to that one. Denny's poor hands are so swollen. And the gentleman I take care of during the day or when I stay over there, he was not well today either. It was just it was a not very good start to the day, but it ended up being a pretty decent day. I'm happy. And I'll get some sleep tonight. Woo! I bought an awning. Oh, he's got rheumatoid, regular arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and psoriatic arthritis. So when his rheumatoid flares up, his hands actually look like he's got cellulitis. They're so swollen and they are shiny. That's how swollen they are. He can't pick up even a pillow. Of course, he won't do any of the natural stuff I tell him to do because he's non-compliant and stubborn as a mule. But he'll take the medicine from the doctor because he's just that way. You know how stubborn guys are, right? It's the truth, though. Us women are bullheaded, men are stubborn. How's Richard doing, Ramona? Oh, I can imagine. Well, I can't imagine, really. But I get enough bad guys around here. I actually had my neighbor tell me not to trust some of his family members because they're stealing, and that was just heartbreaking to me. So we're going to have to be very diligent. You know, people are getting really kind of wily around here. You had a shooting recently. You know, there's been a lot of car accidents. Hey, Christy. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are drunk. I don't know what's going on. Seems like everybody's freaking out. Well, praise God for that. I wonder if Bobby's going to get his disability. And I wonder why it's taken so long. I got mine in 3 weeks. Well, Tim, there are things you can do for your knee. I done told you and told you and told you. Stubborn. That's what you are. Stubborn. How you doing, Miss Christy? Oop, I hear that German Shepherd. I did too. Raw honey is really good for open wounds. Well, anything's better than nothing, huh, Ramona? The one you're looking at right now, hon. The tree that kind of goes off to the right. You sent me a picture of it. You were inverted. Oh, Sharon. I've got some stretches for you, Sharon, that'll take that pain away. They're not easy, but they work. One is you can put your backside up against a door. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Hold on. Rusty? Irritating custards. I don't know how many snakes are out here. Anyways, all right, so where was I? All right, yeah, sciatic nerve. All right, here's what you do. You stand up with your back up against the door, and then you just raise your ankles. Just lift your feet up, your heels up off the floor against the door, and slowly lean from the waist over. Just slowly lean forward. And that stretches that either the piriformis or the sciatic. The second one you can do, if it's possible, is lay flat on the floor, your legs outstretched just a little bit, not further than your shoulders, and then put your elbows on the floor with your hands straight. You know, they'll be actually on the floor. Your elbows will be, you know, you'll be up on your elbows. I guess it's called, you know what a sphinx looks like? You know, where their elbows are up and their head's up. That's what you're gonna do. And that stretches the back. And usually it's L4, 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 L5 that messes with your sciatic. It's not the piriformis muscle. Those two work really well. Well, the stretch that you can use, if you want to, if you have to, you can put a chair in front of you when you're up against the door, but make sure the chair is far enough away where you can bend forward without falling over. And you'll actually feel it. And when you start to bend over, you'll actually feel the pain go away. Lurks a lot. You're so funny. You're so bad. Those two help tremendously. I mean, they really do. If my sciatic is on fire and I cannot sleep, I get up and do my stretches. I do my stretches and then I can go back to bed because they really do work. And so far, those are the only two that I found that last longer than, you know, they told me before to take the bad leg, pull it up my knee close to my chest, and then lay it off to the, if it's my left leg, pull my knee to my chest and then roll it out to the left-hand side. But let me tell you, that is so painful, it's hard to do. So the best thing I can find, the best thing I've tried is laying up against the wall. I'm trying, Tony. You can only do so much when you're poor, but we're trying. Okay, it starts on your, is it right or left hip, Tim? Okay, if you put your hand on your hip, can you actually push and feel where the pain is? Okay, so when you lay down flat, does the middle of your back hurt? I need to talk to you, Tony, when you get a chance. Okay, then have you had problems with your hip before? I mean, do you have arthritis in your hip? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sharon. Most people that have sciatica, it has to do with the middle of their back, L4 and L5. With arthritis, yeah. Mhm. Well, you know, you can always call in, Tony. But I need to talk to you anyway. But I don't know if the phone number I have is working anymore because I've texted you a couple times and haven't gotten an answer. So I don't know if it's the same phone number. But I'll try again. Well, you should. Well, if you email me, then we'll exchange phone numbers and I'll get you on here. It's a good idea anyway, but I need to talk to you. Okay, well, bursitis is an easy fix, believe it or not. But arthritis is a little bit different. But I will tell you, there's a couple of things that that you can do. Number one, the stretches are major. You know, they help out tremendously, but you got to be consistent. It's like going to a chiropractor but not having to pay for it. That's number one. Number two, you can turn around and you can take like cayenne pepper mixed with castor oil, mixed with rosemary, and put it in some kind of, yes, Tony, that's the right email address. I wonder what happened there. Okay, you can mix those together with some kind of oil, either olive oil, jojoba oil, and put it on your hips. And believe it or not, it will. That's the right. That's it, Tony. I just saw you texted me. I don't know what happened. Thank you, Ramona. But if you guys start doing the stretches, you got to get movement in there. That's the problem. When they start to tighten up, especially if you have L4, L5, if you don't have L4 and L5, pinching the nerve, then it could be either arthritis in the hips or the piriformis muscle. And I kind of need to know which one it is to tell you where to go. But if you want the stretches, those two stretches are absolutely the best, and you'll notice right away that the pain goes away. Like I said, just stand up flat against the door, raise your ankles up, get those heels up off the floor, and bend just from the waist over, and you will find out that it takes that pain immediately away. I was shocked, absolutely shocked, but it works. Yeah, but naproxen is not good for your heart. Neither is ibuprofen. So you want to take something that works, that's natural, that's the mixture. Well, you know, you can put pads on your feet, Sharon, and tape them, and it'll help you out too. You know those non-stick pads, 4x4 pads you can buy at the store for wound care? I don't know, Martha. I can't see. I don't even have my glasses on. I can't see. Looking through. Hey, let me see if I can. Let me see. I will try. Oops. Yeah. There you go. It depends on what the pain is. Don't apologize, hon. It's just, you know, I miss talking to you, so I've been trying to reach you and didn't hear anything, so I figured maybe, just maybe, you were working where you work. I just let it go, figure eventually you'd call me back or text me. There are a lot of things you guys can try for pain. Yeah, ginseng's a good thing. Moringa is good. You know, cordialis is good. You can mix cordialis with cayenne pepper. There's a lot of stuff you can take. You should be taking turmeric with black pepper every single day. Glucosamine, chondroitin. You know, you need to do cleanses. There's a lot of things that'll help out. But I'm telling you that castor oil works really, really well, especially if you warm it up and put it on aching, especially where you have arthritis. I mean, you can even ask Denny. He'll tell you when he's compliant and he does what I tell him to, the castor oil does work. I just warm up the rag and put the castor oil on it and then wrap. That's okay. Doesn't matter how big your knee is. Just get a towel, get it wet, get it warm, put some castor oil on it, and wrap your knee. It takes out the pain. If you mix it with the cayenne actually causes it to go deeper into the muscle tissue. It works fantastic. Just don't touch your eyeball. You'll be sorry. I told him, Martha, a long time ago. You probably told him too. He just don't listen. Okay, Ramona. Black castor oil works the best, but regular castor oil will work. All right, well, I try to go live on Friday or Saturdays and Sundays when I am home because I've been working a lot. So, just let me know what day you want to call in. I think I'm working Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. Not sure. But the day that I do come home, because I'm usually up for, 48 hours by that time, I just sleep. Don't forget to tell Jay. Thank you. Yeah, you can make a paste out of it. But see, if you're going to put that, it's liquid. No, you can't put shoe polish on it. Tim, you're so bad. No, what you want to do is just get, wherever you're going to put it, those tea towels that you use, take one of those, dip it in water, put it in the microwave, get it warm, or use really hot water, as hot as you can get it, pour castor oil on it, rub it all together and stick it on there. You can actually put a heating pad on top of it if you want, and I'm telling you, it works like a charm. If you're going to do the cayenne with it, remember, cayenne will stain, so use a towel that you're not worried about. And for those of you that, like I said, have the L4, L5, if you're going to use a heating pad or something, make sure that you put that on L4, L5, and you'll find out your sciatic pain will subside, because that's where it's caused from. That's where the pain actually is coming from. You got a pinched nerve at L4, L5, and that'll cause a sciatic pain. Absolutely, it'll help for nerve pain. That's a good idea, Tony. You're welcome, Sharon. And if that doesn't work for you, which I'm sure it is going to work for you, but there's other things you can try. Every single person on this channel should be taking CoQ10 and turmeric with black pepper. Every single person. Remember I told you about your water, 3 ounces, like a bottle of water in an hour, 3 ounces every time you think about it, so you drink that bottle in an hour. That goes on a cellular level, so you don't spend the rest of your time peeing out the water. I don't know, Tim, what do you want for a present? You want me to make you up some of the castor oil with I can make you a balm, actually, that you can rub on there. I don't have a Bigfoot hide, silly. Tony, I can't wait. There's a lot. No, he's not getting any of my squirrels. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about, Tony. All you gotta do is let me know when, and I'll get you on here. Yeah, I know, it's pretty rough, Sharon. I didn't even realize mine was L4 and L5 until I went in, talked to my chiropractor, and then I was, even the x-rays that I've had done, nobody has ever said anything about L4, L5. Then they told me that I was starting to get arthritis back there. Well, which makes sense, I'll be 66 this year, so, arthritis is just kind of, unless you're active all the time, it's just kind of par for the course. So the more you move, the less pain you're in, trust me. Exactly. Exactly, Tony. That's something I'm dealing with. Instead of people binding together, and and saying that this is what's going to happen, and everybody trying to work together, people are going off on their own and just having meltdowns. I mean, I'm hearing about more people that I've met that are going on alcoholic binges because they can't handle the truth. I mean, they're just freaking out. It's not time to freak out. It's time to be, your brain's got to be engaged. And Sharon, what Martha's talking about is Baxil. It's hyaluronic acid, which is what synovial fluid is made out of. And synovial fluid is the fluid that lubricates your joints. You can buy it in liquid form and take it every day. It's expensive, but it's worth it. You know, even the Bible talks about what we're supposed to be doing right now, and panicking is not one of them. I know that's what the enemy wants, and here's the thing. You know, when they talk about the zombie apocalypse, I don't think that people are actually going to turn into zombies. I think what they're doing is actually their brains are just fried because they're wasted, or they're not in touch with reality. They just, you know, the cheese has slipped off their cracker. They just gave up. It's overwhelming, you know, food prices, you know, food shortages, gas prices, you know, electricity bills, you know, they have doubled. You know, I mean, it's crazy. And then the stuff that's going on with the government, you know, and overseas, and nobody seems to see what's going on actually. You know, they're being rerouted, and then all the diseases. You know, listen, people can go around and tell you that this is a variant of this and a variant of that. Just, you know what, blow that right out the window. Everybody's got the flu. It's flu season. Hello. What's the matter, baby?
Just look.
Did you go check?
Yeah.
Okay, no snakes? Thank you. Excuse me. Well, there's no snakes tonight, guys, but they were flipping out. Sometimes I think it's just a raccoon or something else back there, not always a snake. They're locked up.
Maybe they're arguing about who's president, or
Oh.
maybe they're arguing about food rations.
Yeah, that's true. They could be doing that
Maybe
too.
revolt.
It's time to rebel. Why are people not getting mad? Why are people just sitting around freaking out? I don't understand. This is the first time this has happened in this country that I know of. Amen, Tony. That's the way it is. You can't put your faith in man. You can't put your trust in man. Either you're going to trust the Lord, and he said he'd protect us during this time, or you don't. You can freak out about what's happening, or you can trust. Your choice. I don't worry about the stuff that's happening out there. It doesn't, you know, some people say I'm putting my head in the sand, but I'm not. I'm just not worried about that kind of stuff. I'm doing what God tells me to do here. This is the first time in history that I know of that everybody's just walking around with their head in the clouds saying, oh, well, this is kind of cool. It's not cool. It's ridiculous. The Bible says, when the things that are wrong become right and the things that are right become wrong, right there it is. That's exactly how it is. Same here, Martha. That's why I said we usually don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about other people. We have to kind of keep it because they will. And I have no doubt about it. They'll come in and take my videos again. Thank you, Ramona. That was very nice of you. Bubba, any possibility I can get you a cup of coffee?
What?
Coffee?
Yeah.
Thank you. If there's any sugar left.
You don't want xylitol?
No, I think there's enough sugar in there if you shake it. The raw sugar.
When it gets to that point, you don't want me to use the xylitol?
No, I can't drink coffee with xylitol in it. I can put it in everything else, but just not my coffee. I put xylitol in my toothpaste and stuff
We
like
might
that.
have normal sugar, actually.
Okay.
I think we got it for baking.
Just don't let the stuff, I mean, be prepared, guys. Think. Think outside the box. Think about what we've been taught. Watch, I mean, all of us. Look at how,
If everybody was just staying together.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You know, think about what we were taught even growing up about the way things are supposed to be. We're losing our history. We're losing our, you know, heritage.
We need to fight back smart.
Uh-huh. Right, even the Bible says that, hon. It starts at home. If you can't get it at home, you know, then don't quit. But it starts with you. And I can sit here and talk about TikTok videos that show up on YouTube all the time and get totally freaked out and upset and the whole 9 yards, but I don't. I bypass them and say, you guys can get sidetracked all you want. I'm not getting sidetracked. My eyes are on the Lord. Amen, Sharon. I've been healed a couple of times myself, and even if I wanted to say that God wasn't real, I can't. He is totally 100% healed me, right, I mean, before and after with doctors saying, oh my gosh, what happened? I mean, literally, I have proof of before and after. Well, people have always thought that money made the world go round, but it doesn't. People can stop it in a screeching halt, or they can continue. It's up to the individual people. And we keep binding together, helping each other, and that's what we want. We want to stand together as a family. We pray together, we stay together, we fight together. We encourage each other. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Did you just see movement in the tree, Martha? You know, that actually could be an owl up there. I just didn't see any eyeballs. Normally I see eyeballs.
Double check your lid.
Thank you, baby. Ooh, hot. Perfect, Bubba, thank you. Well, parenting has taken a complete twist and turn, which throws everybody off that's older, because they're like, what is going on? Amen to that, Tony. Oh, I'm watching that stuff. That makes me crazy. Yeah, they don't need a friend. They need a parent. But kids are totally confused. They want to keep up with the Joneses, thinking that their 4-year-old child needs an Xbox and an iPhone and an iPad and earbuds and McDonald's every day. Otherwise, they're horrible parents. The parents are confused. I mean, we're talking about 20, 30, 40-year-old parents. They're confused. You just can't follow. Yeah, and remember the Bible says that the children will turn against the parents. Mother against daughter-in-law, and father-in-law against son. I mean, that's the way the Bible says it's going to happen. So raise up the child in the admonition of the Lord, and he will return to it. You got to keep your faith, and you've got to keep, it's your actions and your words. You know, you got to be consistent. If you don't have consistency, they're confused. Yes, they are absolutely, you're absolutely true, Martha, but I know more people have taken their kids out of schools than ever before. Because I don't think the schools have any business teaching children some of the things they're teaching them. It's just, to me, 100%. What happened? I mean, really, to give these people the authority to do some of the stuff they've been doing. And why? Why on earth are we allowing it? I won't hoot, but I'll whistle if you guys watch your ears. I can't whistle very loud, but watch your ears anyway. And tell me when you're ready. Yeah, because the parents are working too many jobs to pay attention to what their kids are going through. They have to have two parents working in order just to live. And these are DHS that's getting involved, telling them they don't have the authority. Oh, I have some suggestions, let me tell you. Y'all ready? I'll whistle. Give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, I'm gonna blow your eardrums out. Well, maybe not. Oh, lots of things messed up everything. I think people finally woke up when they realized, hey, who's here? When they realized what the government was actually doing to us with this whole bananas thing, and prior to bananas. And I won't talk about that president either. Ready? All right, here we go. Oh, Tim, porn is still major with teens today. Major. Hey, Peanut. Say hello. Careful when you come out.
Hank's gonna have to come out.
All right, let him come out.
Come on. Come on.
But just don't let him take off, please. Let's see what he does if he goes over that direction. Because even Leo's quiet. Careful, baby. Hmm? I didn't hear you. Yeah, that's Denny. Tony, that's something I wanted to talk to you about, you know, because I'm not finding that here at all. I thought in the beginning that I was. Well, when I was in Tallahena, you know, yes, I had that. When I was in Arkansas, yes, I had that. Here, no, I don't. Believe it or not, I would say the good portion of the people that are in this general vicinities are meth heads. And it is downright scary. So I'm just praying. I continue to plead the blood over this property and for protection, and I'd have to do it every single day. Every day. Let me see what's right there. Well, thank you, Tim. That's what I'm looking forward to. Oh, great. I hear a helicopter. Better not come over this house. Hang on, guys. Seriously. Seriously, if I find a black box on this thing, I'm going to shoot it. Denny has arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and psoriatic arthritis. On top of they diagnosed him with emphysema.
And as
Yeah, well, I had a black box Texas when I was in Arkansas. They were watching, they were irritating the daylights out of us over there. Military, anybody here on the chat can tell you what happened there. They stole my videos, they showed up all the time, they sent a drone. They had battery-powered ATVs that they would sit across the street. They sent black op helicopters. Yeah. They swatted our house. They did all kinds of stuff they weren't supposed to be doing, but they thought, I don't know, just leave it alone at that.
no,
You all right, baby?
I can see his step. I can see
Okay. You all right? Okay.
breathing. You all right?
Yep.
did you check the chickens and ducks?
What? What happened?
Mom was saying something about they were going crazy.
Yeah, I looked in there.
Okay.
Went all around both.
Yeah. Yeah, the helicopter went above, but it wasn't a military, it was a life flight. That's all right. Stayed on the other side where it belongs. And you know, guys, I have not seen that bright white light in my woods since the last time we saw it. Not once.
Wasn't that at the last thing?
No.
Half out?
Well, there's a couple of things that you can take. OSHA root is one of them. Like I said, here's the deal, guys. I can put together some stuff and tell you some therapies for that kind of stuff, but it can get expensive and people can't afford it. Their insurance covers the medicinal part of it, the pharmaceutical. It will not cover, the other stuff. And there's where the problem lies, because if you buy it in bulk, you can put them in your own tablets or capsules and make them. That'll last you a long time. But yes, exactly. The side effects are so bad, but there's a lot of, like I said, Pod Arco, OSHA root. These are all really good. If I could afford to buy those and make Denny's capsules, he wouldn't have to take the Taltz that he was taking that he thinks works really well. But the first time it did, the second and third time it didn't work all that well. And the more you take it, the less it works. It's like taking a steroid. You might take it the first time, it does great. If you continue to take it, it just causes a lot of side effects. So I have the recipes and I have the right medicines, and I can tell you these things to add together, but I'm going to tell you right up front, they're costly unless you buy them in bulk and make your own capsules. Therein lies the problems. But if you buy it in bulk and make your own capsules, instead of buying them from like Amazon or something like that, well, yeah, exactly. I would hate taking prednisone too, but it would last you a year or better instead of buying it monthly. But I always tell people to try it once, buy it, try it once, see if it works for you. If it does, buy it in bulk and make your own. I promise you, now's the time to do this kind of stuff, because there will come a point where you're not going to be able to get the medicine. What? Tank. Too many steroids hurts a lot of things. Not just your adrenal glands, hurts your lungs, hurts your bones, hurts a lot of stuff. Remember, steroids turn things brittle. They might take the inflammation out, but they turn things brittle.
Come on, Tank. Let's go.
Too much prednisone and your bones become brittle. Too much prednisone and other stuff becomes brittle. You got to be careful on that kind of stuff.
Come on.
It's great for a temporary.
Come.
Tank, get in the house. But you don't want to be on it all the time. You want to take the stuff that you guys can get, if you can get it, from the earth. And I have a whole bunch of things that I can tell you that you can take. Good night. I love you.
I love you. Good night, people.
Then you said good night. Try to get as many things from the book that I sent you guys. Try to get as many things out there that you can. They're going to be all year round. You'll be able to get certain things in spring and certain things in the summer and certain things in the fall. You know, you have to be able to thank you, Martha. You have to be able to know what you're looking at and do it. There will come a time. Did you email me, Rich? I thought I sent everybody the book that emailed me. I'm telling you, I really need to get back in there and add more. All right, Rich, I'll go back. I swear I sent everybody. Oh, on Messenger? Yeah, I can't send it on Messenger. You have to email me. Regular email, Rich, because I can't, it won't let me send it. It's too big to send on Messenger. You're going to get what when you come over? The book? I don't have a book. It's just on it. Remember, you're going to have to open it up with a, I don't have a printer. I didn't get it published. You're just going to have to open it up on whatever you can read it with. And like I said, do double pages. That way it looks like a real book. Otherwise, it's really scattered. Guys, it's 3,000 to 4,000. Oh, okay, Rich. I'll go back and look. Sorry, hon. It just costs too much money to do a book. I even contacted a couple people that wrote books and asked them how they did it, but they all paid for it. And I've got better things to spend my money on. I just can't. There's no way. But I have so many more things that I can add to that book. I really want to make an addendum to that book. Oh, really, Tony? Yeah, if you guys can, you know, write down what Tony wrote. Check it out. Oh, okay, Ramona. It has a lot of information in it. I mean, a lot of information. And I wish I could take more pictures. There's so many things that I couldn't take pictures of, but now I can. And I really want to get that done. I'm just really behind, guys. Between the stuff that I am making for people and my job and the other stuff, I'm really pretty far behind. I need to get caught up. And we're trying. And even the lady that I'm working for, she's doing the same thing. We are scrambling to try to get things put in place, but I'm not going to panic. I want to make sure that they're done and done correctly, but I just need a little bit more time. Hey, Typical. How are you, hon? Well, my book is free, so that will help. I'm glad to hear that. Typical. Been praying a lot for you, sweetie. Yeah, I think every single person that is doing what we're doing needs EpiPens. Everybody, I don't care if you have problems or not, you need an EpiPen. But remember, they're dated. This is why I want to teach you about the natural stuff, because it's only dated by season. So you can get them, harvest them, dry them out, and put them in paper bags and have them for when you need them. And it's really simple to make tinctures or salves out of them. I mean, real simple. And the recipes are right there in the book. They're not hard at all. I will just tell you this. With everything that I have in there, the smartest thing you can have is some kind of carrier oil, a mortar and pestle. Yeah, I have stuff, Tony, natural stuff out here, actual edibles and medicinals and herbs that'll stop bleeding. We're talking about major bleeds, you know. But anyways, you need a mortar and pestle. You need some kind of carrier oil, which everybody should have: olive oil or jojoba oil or coconut oil. Coconut oil is really well because it's an antibiotic too. But Himalayan salt. You know, there's things that you should just have. Acidophilus, things that you can't get from in your stuff that you put away. You need acidophilus, you need activated charcoal, although you can get activated charcoal other places. But hydrogen peroxide, food grade hydrogen peroxide, these are all things that you can survive with. You can put hydrogen peroxide on just about anything, mix it with water, and it's palatable. You can drink the water. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You can put it on wounds, and you can sterilize your food. I mean, these are necessities, guys, and you should have them, always have them. But I promise you, I will get Tony on here, you know, hopefully in the next couple, when do you want to do it, Tony? Next couple weeks? Will you be available? Okay, next couple of weeks we'll get Tony on here. You know, we are very like-minded, Tony and I are. And it'd be nice to get on and share some of this stuff, but I would suggest that you either get a tape recorder or a pencil and paper and start writing. But I've told you guys this, you know, I mean, I bet you 10 to 1 there's at least 3 or 4 people in here that can tell me the list of things that I said everybody needs in their cabinet. If you look at the recalls, I don't know if I told you guys this, but there's 1,500 recalls for all kinds of food things. It's Listeria, E. coli, botulism, salmonella, and all you need is hydrogen peroxide. It will kill them all. You take a capful of hydrogen peroxide in a gallon of water, and you put your fruits and vegetables in that water at least 5 minutes. You know, take them out, dry them, and put them back in a completely different container, and they will be free from those bacteria and viruses. It's got to be, you know, you've got to make sure that you have peroxide, guys, and not the stabilized kind. Get food grade. You can buy it on Amazon now. You can buy the 3%, or you can buy the 35%, or you can buy the, you know, they have all different kind of percentages, and you can knock them down. And any place, you can go online anywhere and tell you how to dilute 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide to 3%. But you have to be careful with 35% food grade because it's very toxic. It's harmful. It's combustible. It's flammable. I mean, it's dangerous. So since they sell 3% food grade on Amazon, I'd buy it if I were you. Yeah, when I post it, I'll let you know. Hey, Tony, do you know anything about that, what's going on in Utah with that kid that disappeared? Same here, Tony. I've been doing that for years. I really need people informed, and I'm super happy that people are starting to pay attention now, because I've been preaching this stuff for the past 30 years and no one listens. I mean, since I started this chat and I've been doing wild edibles and talking about natural stuff, I got people that are, some people are listening and some people aren't. But it's time. It's time you look past what you're being told and get into the stuff that is going to actually make a difference. Yeah, I saw that, but it still doesn't add up, Tony. There's a kid that had he was on a ranch out there, and he just disappeared. He had talked to his grandmother, and he talked to his mother or his father, and then he disappeared. And nobody had any clue, but there's some shady stuff going on out there. And yeah, they have 2 people that are already incarcerated for firearms charges, but there's something else going on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tony. That's what I said. You and I need to have a conversation, because there's a couple of things that I need to talk to you about when you get a chance. Boy, it's finally starting to cool off. Jeez. I can't believe this whole time I've been sitting here, I've actually been sweating. Yeah, I know, Tony. And that seems to be going on everywhere. That's one of the conversations. I don't know what the temp is right now, but I'm finally stopped pouring down sweat. Zippity-doo-dah. Okay, let me try the flute one more time. I don't know if I'm going to get any activity tonight or not. Yeah. They're on to me. Get off. Really? Spider on my coffee. Well, I've been seriously praying for you, typical. That is normal with a lot of people. Oops, sorry, Bill. There's a lot of people that are doing the same thing, typical. Remember, when he comes on, we're not talking about politics or religion, guys. Let's keep the questions to, you know, basic needs. Let's keep the other stuff out of it, because, boy, we can go down a rabbit hole and cause us a whole bunch of grief. Like I said, I don't want any more black boxes on my telephone poles. Don't want it to happen. I won't put up with it out here. They can just go away. You guys can stop. Yeah. I hear you, Tony. You guys can stop the panic attacks. You can have anxiety, but you don't need to have the panic attacks. First howl. Here we go. Coyotes in the background. They have not even been coming up close either. You know, your mind is very, very, very powerful. When you start feeling anxiety, you can talk yourself right into a panic attack. But I learned through a shrink that I had gone to in nursing school. I had just had enough one day, and I went up to talk to him because he was free. He helps people through nursing school. And he kind of giggled at me, and he said, "You believe in God, right?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Ask him for help." "Okay, Ramona." And I said, "Yeah, I've been doing that." And then he said to me, oops, I missed that one. Then he said to me, "Look, are you hearing that, guys? Woo!" Then he said to me, he goes, "I want you to look at your watch." I said, "For what?" "Do you hear that? That's not an owl." Woo! That's an owl. That's a barred owl. Right, but anyways, listen, this is what he said. Not always, Tim. But he said, "Look at your watch." And I said, "Have you ever had a panic attack?" He goes, "No." And I said, "Well, how on earth can you tell me how to get rid of a panic attack if you've never had one?" He goes, "Well, what do you think's going to happen?" I said, "I'm going to end up in a rubber room or dead, or crazy." And he just kind of giggled at me. He goes, "Just look at your watch." And I couldn't figure out what the heck he was talking about. And this is the gospel truth. Well, I left school that day, and I was heading home. And it takes about 30 minutes to go from school to home. Somewhere around 30 minutes, depending on traffic. And I get off the freeway, starting to get off the freeway, and I have a panic attack. And I go to look for my Xanax that are in my center console of my truck, and there aren't any. I left them at home, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna make it." And I actually seriously thought about turning around and going to the hospital because I had full-blown panic attacks. And then I remembered what he said, so I looked at my watch, and it was just a couple of minutes after 4, so I was like, okay, whatever. And I'm driving down the road, and there's like 3 traffic lights back to back that you have to go through before you turn down the main road towards my house. And I'm heading that direction, and like I said, I look at my watch, and I couldn't figure out why he wanted me to look at my watch. And then I get past my 3 lights, and I'm heading towards the long stretch home, and I look back at my watch, and it's been 15 minutes, and I didn't die, or nothing happened. And I promise you, as God is my witness, it's the last panic attack I had. I was like, okay, nothing happened. I didn't die. I didn't end up in a rubber room. Nothing happened. Nothing. So then after that, I even tried it a couple times. I'd be in my room, and I'd say, okay, now it's time for a panic attack. Come on, let's go. Hurry up. Get this over with. And I'd wait for the anxiety, and it never came. Now, the adrenaline kicked in at certain times, but I never, ever had another panic attack. It's because I kept looking at my watch, and they just went away. I had anxiety, yeah, but I never had panic attacks again. It worked. I don't know how long your panic attacks last, but you ought to try it, because I was really shocked that they worked. Nothing happened. And I was like, forget that. I ain't going through that again. Yeah, you're strong is I mean your mind is very, very powerful. You can stop panic attacks. You might not be able to stop the anxiety. You might not be able to stop the adrenaline, but you can stop a panic attack. Okay, Ramona, give him a hug for me. Tell him we're praying for him still. Get to the point, guys, where you realize we can all sit and talk about it, you know. Panic attacks are when your brain cannot grasp reality. It goes off. You're so almost scared or paranoid that you can't control it. Your heart's pounding. You're short of breath. You think you're dying, and it's just it's a panic attack. You know, you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know how to stop it, and it's overwhelming. You think literally you're going to die, and then it goes away, and you're like, "What the heck was that?" And they can come back, or the doctor prescribes medicine like Ativan or Xanax or something like that, and then the panic attacks get more frequent because now you have a chemical actually involving it as opposed to your own brain saying enough is enough. You could stop, literally, you could stop a panic attack in its tracks. We sit here and talk about how strong, how weak-minded we are because of things that we see or hear with the big guys, you know, confrontations or interactions and, you know, what you would do, and everybody has their own opinion. But when it comes to something unnatural like a panic attack, we think we go to a doctor. We go to a doctor and say, what is this? And when they say it's anxiety and they give you medicine for it, you have no control. The medicine's now in control. Well, no. You've got to make sure that you stop them with your own head. You are strong enough. You can change where your thought processes are and stop a panic attack in its tracks. Anxiety, fine, have anxiety. Nervousness, wow, have nervousness. Yeah, well, there's, you know, everybody's heard of fight or flight. You know, well, that's what they call, a lot of people. That's kind of true, Tim, unless, you know, not me. I don't want to look at a grizzly bear. No, thanks. I think I would actually just die. Well, fight or flight is what your brain actually goes through, and that is actual, you know, it's an actual event that happens in your head. Your body chooses whether you're going to fight or flight. You're either going to take off running or you're going to stand there and fight. But when it's just your nervous system and it's on overdrive and you don't know what it is, most people think that they're having a heart attack, that they're going to die. Yeah, he's funny, isn't he, Sharon? I don't want to talk about grizzly bears. Grizzly bears scare me. I think I'd turn into I think I would turn into a stone and just fall over dead. What, no more talking? Huh? Peanut? Peanut. I tell you guys, I bought an awning. I can't wait to put it up. It'll give Denny 6 foot of being able to sit outside in rain or sun and be covered. Then I think I'm going to, since I can't get any help, I think I'm just going to take 4x4s and I'm going to make my own railings for my husband so he can walk in and out. Yeah, I looked into what it would cost for a porch, even with supposedly help around here, and it was still too much money. So I looked online, I found one. It's perfect size, and we're gonna put it up. Yeah, belly breathing, you can belly breathe, but sometimes when you're so caught up in your anxiety, it's hard. Okay, Rich, thank you. Denny's okay. He's having, today was a rough day for him, but we'll get him back on track. If I can get him to listen to me and just get in the bathtub like I told him. Stubborn as a mule. What is so hard about getting in the bathtub? Why is that chicken laying an egg at 12 o'clock at night? Really? Crazy chicken. You hear that? She's laying an egg. Their hours are just as bad as mine. This is probably why the snakes show up in the middle of the night. They probably hear that noise and say, ah, dinner. Yeah, I don't have feet on again, so I can't go over there watching, but I hear Jay. I hear the door, so he's probably gonna go look. I can't stand this stupid generic tape I have on my tripod because I can't see nothing. Okay, typical. Well, and most people are afraid of the unknown, which causes anxiety. If you're pretty updated and you understand the bottom line as opposed to what they're throwing out there, then your anxiety level will change because now you're mad instead of anxious. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. As long as you know who your enemy is, you're one step ahead. Come on, Peanut. I think, like I said, Tony, most people in this chat room know it's the fear of the unknown throws people, sane people, throws them off. I mean, we're talking about people that are highly educated, that pretty much think they have a pretty good grasp on reality, and all it takes is one thing to throw that completely off, and then your whole paradigm changes. Everything about you, everything that you thought you knew, everything that you thought you could do or that you were capable of goes right out the window. And I think that's what throws people the most because now these are realities. I remember 20, 30 years ago, people, amen, Tony. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If it's possible that even the elect could be deceived. But I remember 20, 30 years ago, people talking about stuff that would happen, and people just talked about it. But you talk about it enough and you bring it into reality, and all of a sudden people are backing off and hiding instead of coming out and saying, you know, we knew this, we were ahead of this game. Why all of a sudden now is it fear? We were aware of this years ago. You just got to get on track with the Lord and with yourself. You've got to maintain control. You have to make sure that you are aware and that you are prepared, because even the Bible says to prepare. And I think, honestly, to tell you the truth, I have no clue, zero clue of how much trust I literally have in the Lord. I can tell you I believe as much as I know I exist, I believe in the Lord. But my trust level, I don't know. I've been through this. You know, I've been through a lot of stuff, and I always say afterwards, the Lord got me through it, and I believe he'll get me through this one. But we have a tendency as humans to not be able to associate or to combine spiritual and physical. I've said this more than once. Once you get into the spiritual realm, it's hard to live in the physical, because now you're so aware. Your senses are heightened. Same here, Bill. Way before it became a thing, I was prepping. I mean, all you'd have to do is back then, like I said, 30 years ago, watch the news. That's why I got into all the natural stuff. That's why I got into wild edibles and medicinals and that kind of stuff. I knew I could, you know, it was all over the news, stuff that was happening. It's hard not to. And I'm no smarter than anybody else. Right, Tony, that's exactly it. That's why I said we're losing our heritage and stuff, because back in the day, people prepped. They saw, they heard, they knew what was coming, and they prepared for it. We don't prepare. Or I just heard that too. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but I heard what I call a gruff. Eh. Yeah, same here, Texas. I'm having a hard time with my gardening right now, but I'm working on it. Everything's about to change here, because most of my stuff in my garden just died. It just burnt up. Even though we're water twice a day and protected it with mulch, everything's dying on the vine. It's just burning up. I cannot keep, my grapes are doing really well, of course, you know, and like I said, my cherry tomatoes all grew, my cayenne pepper grew, my cabbage grew, my green peppers grew, my corn died, my broccoli died, my cauliflower died, my beans, my peas, they all died. Earplugs or earphones? You sound like me. I got my carrots that I planted in the winter time in my hothouse. Those grew really well, but then I took them out to rinse them out and didn't put them in that night, and the rabbits all here got to them, so I didn't get my carrots. My potatoes, I told you I had over 50 pounds of potatoes. They all rotted. I dumped it out and I was just shocked. They turned to mush like within 2 days. I started pulling them back and found all the potatoes. I was so happy. They were new potatoes. I went back out there. After a couple of days of the heat, I went to dig them up and they were mush. I was just shocked. Exactly, Tony. That's what I'm saying. That's where I believe people are having a hard time with it. Exactly, sis. Oh, I get it, Rich. Yeah, when I get off here, I promise I will send you that book. You gotta be kidding me. Are you crazy, Spider? You want to die? Well, I've got another plan. You know, I've got an area back there that's semi-shaded, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start a lasagna garden, get that started, and I'm going to replant my seeds. And I have seeds that I'm going to start as soon as the weather breaks. I'm going to start them in the hothouse so I have my winter vegetables and fruits. Amen to that, Tony. Like I said, everybody here prays for everybody else. And you guys are always, always, every single night on my prayer list. Some people more than others, you know, are more specific than others, but every single night, because we need each other. We don't need to pass around all the nastiness. What we need to do is pass around the encouragement. Help each other, pray for each other, do whatever we can. You know, I mean, I know a lot of you cannot afford stuff, you know, but there are ways. And trust me, you can even go to garage sales and find some of the stuff that you're looking for. Most people don't even realize. There you go. Thank you, Martha. I know there's a lot of people on here that'll just flat out give you their email address just for an ear, or for prayer, or for encouragement. Hey, Patricia, how are you, sweetie? I'm glad to hear that. Nice to see you. Stand strong, family. Stand strong. If you have any problems, email one of us. I promise you we will pray with you. I promise you that we will do whatever we can to help whenever we can. I know every single person is financially strapped. I've been praying for Bobby a lot. I've been praying for a couple other people a lot because I know the struggles. You know, Matt. And remember, sis, you told me a while ago about a couple of places that you dropped out of because of comments. Well, I've dropped out. I don't know what's changed, but there's some people that just don't want to hear. They really don't want to hear the truth. And I promise you, this is not conspiracy theory. This is exactly following what the Bible says. Exactly, Tony. That's why I'm trying to teach people how to get on the natural path. Look to your gardens. Look to your natural edibles out there. Yeah, I'm a little hurt by the comments, but it is what it is, and I can't help, you know. I still pray for them all, but I can't help them. Bug just almost flew in my mouth. But I will set it up with Tony, and I will let you, welcome back, typical. I will let you all know uh, when we plan on, exactly, Tony. Can't agree with you more. I'll let y'all know when we can get together one night, and I'll probably go early. Yeah, that's cute, Texas. Right now, I have so many eggs right now. I'm gonna have to start giving them away, otherwise they're just gonna go bad. I'm still trying to build the stupid chicken coop. Haven't gotten to that either. It's just too bloomin' hot. I can't be out here working in this kind of heat. It's dangerous. I mean, even if it was 80 or 90 degrees, I could work out here, but I do, Texas. If they float, I throw them. If they sink, I keep them. But still, I've got so many eggs. My chickens, believe it or not, some of them are laying twice a day. They're laying first thing in the morning, and then here you hear them at night. They're laying at night. So I'm getting 9 eggs or better a day. And right now, there's only 4 of us here. So I'm giving away eggs left and right. If I had enough to sell, I could sell them, but I'm just giving them away to neighbors right now. I don't want turkeys. I thought about it, but I don't want turkeys. I do want some guineas. I do want to get in guineas, and I do want to get some quail. I've got plenty of bunnies around here. If that was I wouldn't have to worry about that for food. I don't have to worry about meat around here because there's plenty. I mean, we have squirrels, we have rabbits, we have, snake. We have all kinds we have deer, we have hog. You guys hear that? Oh, really, Texas? I never heard of that. I heard a nice thud, guys. Go back a couple seconds and you hear it. It was out there in the tree line. I don't know what they thudded on, but it was a nice thud. Okay, I'll do that, Texas. Okay. Hello. Oh, Kahina. Peanut. That duck actually sounded like a person. I'm real careful about what I hear around here because, believe it or not, even the dog makes some noise that sounds kind of off, but I'm used to hearing it, so. Yeah, they don't visit very often because I'm not home very often, but when I'm out here, a lot of times they will come visiting. And guess what, Patricia? I got a flute, and I blew on the flute, and then right after that, we heard a repeat. That was 2 times in a row. I guess they liked the flute. But I did it tonight, and they didn't respond, so. Of course, Jay and Dusty are walking back and forth, and Denny's comes in and out. So if they were to go to bed, I'm sure. But it's already 12:30, so I have no idea whether we'll get any activity tonight or not. Yeah, it is cool. I love it when they do that. You know, you don't hear or see nothing for a while, and all of a sudden they do something like that. Well, that's all right, hon. If you get a chance, you can go back and listen to it. And I think it was not the last time, but the time before that I went live. I can't even tell you because I can't look at my phone and tell you the name. I rarely look at those anyway. My light just went on. Yeah, you know, I didn't smoke. When my kids were young, and because I didn't start smoking until I was like 30 years old, but when my kids were young, I would never have bought a pack of cigarettes before I bought them food. Never happened. Now it's just me and Denny and Jay and Dusty, and for the most part, we can get stuff like that. But I agree with Tony. You got to be very careful. I'm sorry, Ramona. It's been a bad day for Richard. You gotta be really careful about who you tell what you have. You start telling the neighborhood that you've got all the food in the world and you're gonna lose it. They will come and get it. Won't they, Tony? I've heard of quite a few people that have stockpiled that have lost their stockpiles. Their houses have burned down, someone broke in. Oh, I'm so sorry, hon. I'm having that same problem with Denny. Communication is kind of strained. Yes, Sandy. If you go to About, it'll be there. Or there you go. Thank you. Is he taking, Ramona, is he taking omega-3s? Do you have him on omega-3s? Hey, Mike. How are you, sweetie? Nice to see you. Do you have any Moroccan olive oil? One day at a time, Mike. One day at a time. Could be worse, could be better, but I am blessed. That's all I'll say. Not gonna complain. I did too, didn't I? You just have regular olive oil? You need to get him on omega-3s, hon. It'll make quite a bit of a difference. And remember I told you about the PQQ? Paraquinolone? You need to have him on the PQQ and CoQ10. I'm telling you, it will help him tremendously. People say Bacopa or Ginkgo biloba. But I'm telling you, with the situation he's got, omega-3s are your best bet. Well, plain olive oil doesn't have as many omegas, but it's better than nothing. Give him a tablespoon of it twice a day. And start charting the difference in the changes, okay? Oh, praise God, Mike. I'm glad to hear that. This is what recharges me. Either out here 3 or 4 hours with the Lord or online with you guys. That's what recharges me. I have been beside myself for the past almost month. PQQ. Thank you, Martha. CoQ10 with PQQ and omega-3 fatty acids. You want at least a minimum of 200 milligrams of CoQ10. You know, you can buy them in 50, 100, 200, or higher. I wouldn't get the higher. I would just do the 200 milligrams. You have to take the PQQ with CoQ10. That's how it absorbs. Just like you got to take black pepper with turmeric, you need CoQ10. It's got to be at least 200 milligrams, hon. It's paraquinolone, and it is for memory. It is to help your brain restore function. And you'd be surprised how quick it works. Okay, Ramona. If you can't afford anything else, just get him on the omega-3s. Yeah, I think we all do. Like I said, this past month has been really, really, really hard on me. I have struggled like nobody's business. I know I've talked to Martha a few times about it, but I have really struggled this month. I have been in and out of tears, in and out of close to depression, but I won't allow that to happen. No anxiety or fear or anything like that, just overwhelmed with everything that's going on and not getting any sleep and not gaining weight. And it's just been, it's been a really rough month for me. And that's why I told you guys I was going to go back to the live chats, because I have to have my continuity, and I have to have people that are believers. You know, it's very, very hard. I understand that, Ramona. And I care so much about other people that I tend not to take care of myself, which is not like me, because I'm used to working out and taking my vitamins and eating properly. I have not taken care of myself at all. In fact, the first time that I cut my hair and dyed it was the first thing I've done for myself in a long time. I just got tired of looking at myself in the mirror saying, what are you doing? You know, not that I look in the mirror and put makeup on or any of that kind of stuff. I don't do that. But I just feel like I was losing myself, you know. It's been very, very rough on me. And with Denny's illness and the lady I work for, her daddy's illness, and the stress, you know, of everything, I have to take a break and renew, you know, go back to talking to the Lord. But I found out that after talking to the Lord, I spent more time in tears, you know, and sometimes your tears are for other people, you know, so that's okay. But I know I'm not taking care of myself physically, and I have to. I'm just last on my own list. I really want to I really want to be able to get things done and help people get through things. But like I said, it just sometimes gets overwhelming. You know, you talk to somebody and they tell you the things that are going on in their lives, and yeah, I know, sis. I mean, they talk about the things that are going on in their lives and how rough it is, but then they tell you in the same breath that they just bought a brand new $37,000 car, you know, and it just, I'm not, there's no jealousy or, you know, comparing there. I'm just saying to myself, I really wish I just had, you know, a little bit more to do some of the stuff around here that needs to be done. I want so bad to be able to do my tinctures and my salves and finish my book and get it out to people and teach them about bushcrafting and about wild edibles, and I just can't. I just can't seem to get my act together. You know, like I said, I spend more time crying than anything else, and that's just not like me. But that's what I was talking about. When you're stuck, when you're in the spiritual and you try to get into the physical and spiritual, it's very hard, you know, and we all say the same thing. We just don't belong here anymore, you know. So what is my priority? My priority is my family, God first, and then my family, and then those people around me. And I ask the Lord all the time, what am I doing? Am I doing anything to help anybody else? You know, am I doing anything for the kingdom? And it's hard. Oh, I'm sure he's going through a lot, Ramona. Remember what Richard was like just a year ago, you know, or 2 years ago. The same thing that's happening with Denny and the gentleman that I'm taking care of. Their minds are there and they're not there, and they know it, and it bothers them really bad. They feel they're men, you know. They're used to being taking care of the family and being the provider and doing the stuff, and then they can't do certain things. It's very hard. Well, I miss who I used to be too, so he's not alone. You got to tell him that he's not alone. You tell him for me, I miss who I used to be too. Right, and that's what Denny does too. That's what the gentleman I take care of. That's what most people in my hospice, you know, that I take care of. They're partially there, and then the rest of the time they're not, and it's hard on them. And honestly, to tell you the truth, guys, listen, it's not all about the money here. It's not about me wishing that I had the money to fix everything. It's not that. It's just I wish something was working from beginning to end, that's all. That I could close on something. You know, you start something you just can't finish. I'm not like that. I'm not a procrastinator. I like to finish things that I start, and I just can't seem to get even halfway there. And it's so overwhelming to me sometimes that I just don't know how to deal with it. So I take a step back. I can't at this point. Yeah, get him on that, Ramona. Hey, Chev. Well, hello, stranger. How are you? We certainly miss you here, Chev. I can't slow down, Tony. I understand that, but I can't slow down because I am now responsible for the finances in the house. I can't slow down. You know, it's not like he's going to drop money out of the sky. I have to do my part. And if that's what I'm doing right now, then the Lord will take care of me. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. He will provide. Exactly, Mike. And that's why I said I need to be here because you guys help me more than you know. You know, I know a lot of you guys say I help you, but you guys help me more than you know. I need that. I don't get that here. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it here anymore. I used to, but everybody's, I think everybody in the family is just overloaded and overwhelmed. So that's why I feel alone. You know, not alone, I'm not talking about the Lord alone. I'm talking about conversation here. You know, the hugs I used to get, you know, the time we spend together. I'm sorry to hear that, Chev. God bless you, sweetie. Much prayers for your pain. Are you eating your cookies? Yeah, I told the Lord, well, the past month basically, I told him that I feel like I'm losing my joy, and that's what I cannot afford to lose. My joy in the Lord is my strength. And without that joy, I don't know how to respond. I don't know how to react. And it's just been one day is running into the next, running into the next. And I'm losing my joy. And I can't afford, like I said, I can't afford to do that. If I could just get, you know, if I could just find my joy, I think it would help me tremendously. I can't even tell you when the last time was that I felt that. But I'm not a quitter, and I refuse to quit. I am going to continue doing what I'm doing no matter what. Just keep counting on the Lord to get me through each and every day. Praise him whether it's good or bad. Ow, ow. I got a bug in my eye. Ew. You know them little teeny black gnat things? I just got one in my eyeball. That's it. You're toast. Ooh. Yeah, I know it's still stuck in my eye. Yeah, that's one thing I can say about this group here, this family here, is we sincerely pray for each other. This is a very strong prayer group. I mean, we really get together, bind together, and pray. And it is very, very simple. Yeah, it doesn't have to be so hard. I think it's overload that makes it harder. Yes, we are. Absolutely. That's why I said I need this group as much as, you know, we need each other. Amen to that, Tony. And we do spend a lot, we do pray a lot on this channel. You know, we pray for other people. We get together and we have sometimes nightly prayers on here, you know, when we are here. Other times, you know, we just, you know, everybody agrees to, if someone comes on here and asks for prayer, then we will definitely do that too. And I know all of us, that is our top priority, is prayer. Because prayer moves mountains. You know, absolutely moves mountains. Without my faith, I don't know where I would be. But, you know, my spirit is happy about a lot of things. My physical is not, you know. Good night, Typical. God bless you, sweetie. I hope you sleep well. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock, 12, 11 o'clock for you. I think you're 2 hours behind me, right? Just want everybody to keep the faith, keep your head up, keep in prayer, keep pleading the blood of Jesus over everything, including your minds and your spirits and your belongings and everything that you have. Just keep it under the blood. The hardest part for me is putting all my thoughts under subjection. You know, that's what we are told to do. And when you don't do that is when you start to get overwhelmed. You know, you've got to put your thoughts under subjection. You got to make sure that the way that you're thinking is not going off, because I don't watch the news. You know, I mean, I don't watch it. There's a lot of stuff I don't even know what's going on. And I'm kind of glad that I don't, because I would get caught up just like everybody else does. You know, a lot of people do. They get caught up in the news and what's going on, and I just can't do that. I've got enough going on here, and I know what God has told me to do, and that's what I'm doing. And I don't see any harm or foul in that. So I know that the attacks from the enemy are for completely to your mind, sometimes your body or your finances. So when I pray, like I told you guys before, when I pray for you, I pray for your spirit, your soul, your body, your finances, your health. You know, I pray specifically for those every single night that I pray, whether it's a spiritual problem, emotional problem, a physical problem, or a financial problem. That's what I pray. Because that's where the enemy likes to attack the most. And we're just not going to allow it. We are going to fight. And you guys know my favorite saying, right? Prayer warriors unite. Get her done. I wonder what the big guys are thinking right now. Peanut's probably sitting out there with her head to one side going, what? I get a whole bunch of activity when I'm out here because I stand on the railing of my, the side step on my truck with the door open, and that way I can lean against it and not fall. And I raise my hands to the heavens and I pray sometimes for hours. I mean, I'd come out here at 10, 11 o'clock at night, you know, and next thing I know, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Amen, Chev. That's what we got to do. Prayer warriors unite. That was a cow. Okay, sweetie. As long as it's not political, you know I don't do politics. That's Mama Cow looking for her baby. They took her baby away last week. She's out there screaming every night looking for her baby. Okie dokie, sis. Okay, I won't. I won't leave, Mike. It's only 1 o'clock. I didn't plan on leaving yet. You'll wait for Jay and Dusty. Denny just went to bed, so I'll wait for Jay and Dusty to go to bed and see what happens. But I love it when I do that. If I'm out here praying, they'll throw things, they'll make noises. I can hear them walking around. Yeah, I'm sure Texas has got to be hard. You know they miss their babies. I couldn't raise cattle. Denny had cattle when we first got married, and I was a laughing stock of town because I wanted to build a barn for him. And the lady at the feed store said, "Are you the one that wants to put blankets on all the cows?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh. All I wanted was a lean-to, something to get them out of the wind and the rain and the snow and the ice." I didn't say anything about putting blankets on them. Boy, I was a laughing stock for a couple of years. But remember, I was a city girl. I knew nothing about raising cattle, but I know I spoiled them. I could call them cows from anywhere on that 100 acres. They'd come running. Because I gave them little pellet thingies. Spoiled them rotten. Yeah. Oh, I can attest to that. I'm sure the barns last forever, but this shed house will probably fall apart. I love barns. Where was what, Brandon? The 100 acres? Are you asking Brandon where we had the cattle? Listen to my blessed crickets. That was so nice of Bill to come on tonight, wasn't it, guys? Excuse me. Yeah, me too. I wish I could sleep with my window open, but it's too muggy out here. Boy, if I had well, I do have a tent. I would say I'd sleep out here. I'd definitely go to sleep at night. Brandon. Oh, I wish we had some rain, Martha. Just one day of solid rain would just perk this place up like nobody's business. But there's not a chance of rain for over 10 days. Yeah, well, I'm not holding my breath, Ramona. I can have hope, but that's about it. Nope, I didn't get any rain last night, Ramona. Just beautiful heat lightning and them beautiful clouds, but no rain. We haven't had rain here in so long. Last time it rained anywhere close by, our neighbors got rain. The lady I work for, which is 12 miles away from me, she got rain, but we got nothing. I mean, nothing. Oh my goodness. I got nothing. I could sit and listen to this all night long. Yeah, us too. We were really hoping we'd get some rain. that picture I sent you, Martha, wasn't that gorgeous? I mean, there was a big old thundercloud right there with lots of heat lightning, but not one sound of thunder and not one drop of rain. But it was beautiful to watch. I just happened to catch the tail end of it. It was really pretty. I'm gonna go in and get me some, yeah, hundreds is right. I'm gonna go in and get something to drink, guys. Oh, really? Oh, I've seen that. Okay, sweetie. Good night, Sharon. God bless you, hon. Much love. Just give me a minute, guys. You can talk to each other, but give me a minute. I've got to go get something to drink, okay? Yeah, I've seen them too, Tony. I've been amazed. Water spouts, land spouts. Yeah, dirt devils, or whatever they call them. I've seen all those. It's just amazing. All right, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, can't sit like that long. I'm getting too old. Chicky, chicky, chicky. You hear the chicken going crazy? Excuse me. Another thing you guys might want to have in your little bug out bags or your bags, or whatever you're going to put away, is CBD oil. Definitely have moringa, but yeah, they're laying twice a day. They're laying during the day and then again at night. They got their days and nights mixed. Grow a moringa tree. Let me tell you, they grow fast, and they call it a tree of life for a reason. It's got so many benefits to it. It's incredible. Moringa is good for arthritis. Moringa is good for your memory. Moringa is good for your blood. Moringa is good for your urinary tract. Moringa is good for a lot of stuff. But that's something you guys should definitely have. No, what about it? What about your daughter's chicken? Yeah, Jay killed that snake. He got the one, but we couldn't get the other one. The other one took off too fast. I think the other one was a black racer. I mean, it was solid black. There wasn't a marking on it. It was sleek looking, you know, like glassy. So I think that was a black racer. Oh, how cute. That's adorable, Ramona. Well, I bet you 10 to 1 if I brought that duck in the house, I would have a pet duck. I can call her from anywhere and she'll come running. What I've been giving her lately is cabbage and tomatoes. She loves them. But she was, like I told you, she was really upset because her eggs, she was laying on them, 3 eggs, and the snake ate them. The snakes. Oh, still walking around with her head hanging down. It's amazing to me. Quiet, quiet, more quiet. Yeah. Yeah, River turned naughty. She turned mean, and I don't know why. But that's why I can't mix any of them anymore, because they will kill each other, and I don't know why. But the new ones that I'll get will all be separate. That's what I'm going to do, Ramona. The ducks, I've got a special cage for the ducks, and they can go in there and stay all by themselves in their big pen. And then the chickens, I will have two separate ones, one for the older ones and then one for the newer ones, so they don't hurt each other. I don't want to go through that again. Hey, Shoddy boy, how are you? Well, thank you. God bless you too, sweetie. Long time no see. How have you been? Welcome back, Mike. Are you still posting videos? I think I've seen some of the latest ones. I can't believe it though, Shoddy. Your videos still pop up, but other people's aren't. Oh my, that's crazy. Yeah, I think I think that's a ploy around here where they're telling people to get rid of all their farm animals because they have all these flus and diseases. I think that's an intent. Take care of your animals. Yeah, I'm working like crazy too. Absolutely. Yeah, we had it. They had it in. I don't know. I can't remember where I heard it at, but they were telling people to actually destroy their chicken coops and their chickens because there was the flu going around. They were all getting sick. And I said, you know what? First they're after the farms, and then they're after the cattle farms. You know, first they're after the food farms, then they're burning up the food farms, then they're killing the cattle, and now all of a sudden they're telling you to get rid of all your chickens and stuff. Yeah, It just keeps adding up. I have to move this light just for a minute to watch this big old spider and make sure he doesn't jump on my leg. I'm gonna smack him if he does. You better stay over there. Don't come anywhere near me. I will hurt you. You will die. Hold on, I'm not looking at chat. Looking for that big old spider. Where you go? You crawl up here and I swear. That spider must have been an inch big. Good night, Bill. God bless you. Well, that's crazy. I don't understand how they can say half the stuff that they say. And I can't believe that people fall for half the stuff that they say. You know, you can tell by looking at your ducks and your chickens whether they're sick or not. Exactly, Tony. Like I said, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on that you can get real upset about, but just, it should make you just more determined to get it done and get it done right at home. I don't care if you just have one chicken. Well, there's a lot of places, you know, that you're not allowed to have chickens, but heck, that's why I moved out here. That's good, Martha. I'm glad to hear that. That was my intent, honestly, Martha, was to share my garden stuff, but again, almost everything died. You know, I only got 4 cucumbers. I did get a lot of zucchini, but I only got 4 cucumbers. I mean, the whole thing just died. Just irritating. One thing that I can grow really well is cucumbers and zucchinis and watermelon and stuff like that. Well, I've got plenty. I've got 25 acres, so I got plenty of area here, but I mean, I got to find a better place to put my garden because it's just not going to grow in this direct sun with this kind of heat. And I plan on, you know, right beyond where you guys are looking right now, there's a nice clearing back there that's going to get partial sun and partial shade, and that's where my new garden's going. I can just plant watermelon seeds and let them take off. You know, my lemon and lime and all those other trees, they're all going to be in there. If your squash is blooming but no squash, then make sure that you know which ones are males and females, right, Ramona? You might have to pollinate them yourself. Because if you have males and females, they're not pollinating, you won't get any fruit. Oh, cool. Yeah, my corn got killed by my ducks. Well, Tony, you ought to see the 2 that have been here the past few nights I've been live. I mean, their bodies are an inch around. Don't add the legs. That's why I keep looking on the ground, because I'm going to kill it. And it had 10,000 babies. Cut back your tomato plants. Cut back all the tops, Ramona, and let them re-sprout. Okay, I see a cricket. Where's that stupid spider? Oh, I'm telling you, if you crawl on me, it's all over. You will die. Promise. Yeah, this one was definitely a wolf spider. Not a wood, but a wolf spider. Had a great big huge back on it. Thousands of baby spiders, and I hit it with wasp spray and finally ended up killing it. I hit it with that 4x4. 5 times I slammed that 4x4 on it and didn't kill it. I was like, that's it. Right, Martha. Oh, you're kidding. I'm not wasting the ammo, Chev. I've got a good pair of shoes. Or like I said, snakes die if you spray them with wasp spray, and so do spiders. So he be gone. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm starting to sweat again. I can't believe there's not even a breeze. I am burning up and getting, I don't know, I'm not really tired, kind of tired. Well, yeah, it'd be more fun. Yeah, wasp spray will kill them. You can kill a snake with wasp spray too if they open their mouth. Yeah, well, I got rid of all my guns, almost all my guns, so I need to start from scratch. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. God bless you all. I love you very much. Thank you again to Bill for showing up and telling us his story. We'll look forward to Tony getting on his. Coming in the next week or so, I'll get him on there. Oh, we'll talk about everything, Tony. You know that. But don't forget your prayers. I pray the Lord blesses you, keeps you, protects you. And I really, 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 really want you guys to pray for those that are lost. Please pray for those that are lost. And I will see you again soon. I don't work tomorrow, so I might go live again tomorrow night. But it's a good possibility that I'll go live again tomorrow night. So just hang in there and don't forget your prayers. And I will see you on the next one. Love you guys. Good night, lurkers. I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you, everyone.